Yo, good morning, Vietnam. What is up, everybody? This is your host, Supersight. Hello, Lynn on Trovo, Lynn on YouTube. Earlier, we are live on Twitch, on Nemo TV, on Periscope, on Trovo, on YouTube, on Afrika TV, on Mobcrush, on D Live. That's a healthy number of platforms. Not on Periscope, not on Periscope and Facebook, I meant to say. Yeah, so welcome everybody, welcome everyone. It's got the natural light in at the moment. Open up the curtains, and I'm in my green, that's why it's like this. I'm blue a dubba dee do do. Hey, Josh Winder, welcome to the stream. So, there's just always so much to say, but it's like, yo, it's going to be streaming, as it's going to be valleys and villages, as you can see it via the title. So I streamed pretty recently, actually, but there's lot's happened in the valleys and villages, so we're going to be doing that. I had a potato, and it was, when it's just not ripe, it's just like greenish a bit. You can't really tell, it looks like fine, but then you eat it and it's just awful. It's so disgusting. Like, it's sort of like fine, the aftertaste, it's just this painful, just sticks in your throat. It's awful. I don't know, it's just, it's nasty as. Just an unripe potato. Absolutely hate it. It's just not nice at all. And then I had a drink, but then it sort of almost ruins drink, and I was afraid that then in my mind I'd create an association between a nice drink, a milk drink with cinnamon and cocoa and chocolate powder, and this thing, because it was like, I couldn't even distinguish them. Like, okay, is this the nice taste of that? And it's too similar, and I don't want to then correlate in my mind that this is bad, and yeah. Anyway, so welcome to the stream, and yeah, welcome Josh, welcome Lynn, good to have you both here. So I yesterday up at 8 a.m. to bed at 2 a.m. Good hours in that. I did go to a funeral yesterday. So yeah, I want to keep these hours of those two times versus my sleep schedule's been way off to the point where I was going to bed at like 10 a.m. in the morning one day, which is not good. So, Valleys and Villages, there's not as much to say since I last did it, because it's been kind of recent, but at the same time, there's always stuff to show you in Valleys and Villages. So, yeah, and a few developments and whatnot. We both have multicolor. Nice. I'll get that up. Boom. Okay, where are we going? Rick, roll. Roll, Rick. Okay. Hokadoke. Hokadokie. We'll go like that, like that, like that. Diddle it, 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 diddle it. Display capture. Diddle it, diddle it, diddle it, diddle it. Hey, Matthew Moo, welcome to the stream. I'm glad to be streaming. My auntie invited me to go on a walk, which I would have liked to go on in the botanical gardens, but I got the stream ready, and I'm like, no, I can't not now do it, and I was just mentally ready for it, and that, so I was like, but the walk would have been nice, especially since it's not often available. But yeah, there we go. Hey, so there you both go with the cheeky. That looks so sick. It's like, boom. That actually looks really cool. I'm sorry if I'm in the way. I'm not sure. Am I in the way? Yeah, there we go. Diddle it, diddle it, diddle it. It looks so cool. I love it. I love it. Thank you guys for 12 months worth of main members. That is awesome. That is OG. That is OG. I actually mentioned the word OG to the minister's wife, and she's like, what's OG? There's all sorts of different phrases in that. There we go. And Peppy the Frog. I was reading about him today. They're used in the Hong Kong protests. There we go. Good, thanks. Last few months training to be a teacher, and while studying in school's quite busy, so good chance to listen to the stream while I do some planning for this week. There we go. Planning. Good. Always good to plan. If you, as one of my old teachers used to say, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. I don't agree with that statement. I mean the plan, like, as in, I assume a physical, like, drawn out plan. I remember back in the day when we did tests, we were supposed to write out a plan. So like, we'd have a test or whatnot about what we're gonna write, and they wanted you to do like a thing of like a brainstorm page. You spent 5 minutes on that. I never liked doing them. I don't know. I don't know why. Because, I mean, sometimes, yes, it is helpful. And other times, I just have enough thoughts. I just don't even need to go there. It's kind of weird because I can write so much. Like, huge amounts. When it's just sort of free thinking and whatnot. But most given tests are the reciting of knowledge, and it's very specific, so you can't really just freestyle think through stuff, because with freestyle think, you're just using everything you know in life and just sort of going in any direction you want with it. It's totally free. There's no constraints or restrictions on it. You're just like, okay, we'll go this way, and this, I think this, and this, and it's really interesting. But then it's much harder if it's like for a given specific test topic question. There's only a limit. You can't, it's not, they don't want you to theorize what you think. They want you to say what you've learned. So it's not the same, and then it's way harder. It's like, oh man, 1,500 words actually seems like a lot to get to. Whereas if you just like, I can like write twice that, three times that, four times that, if it's just free thinking about a given subject, because it's not like there's not like a wrong like there's incorrect logic, but you don't realize it's incorrect while you think through it. Otherwise, you wouldn't. Yeah. Anyway, so with the plan to fail thing, as in, I think that just because you haven't got a physical plan or like I'm going to do this, it doesn't mean, because there's just so much subconscious that goes on that you don't really formulate. Okay, this is the plan. I mean, I guess though you do subconsciously, but so then that's it. Because I don't often have plans. Like I write notes if I need to do this and this, but it doesn't mean that because I haven't got a written down plan, I'm going to do this, this, this. Then it's like, oh no, I failed. But yeah. There we go. Boom. That was me freestyle thinking on that, but there's not a question on... yeah, I mean, sure, maybe there's a test that the test is like, what do you think of the statement? If you plan to fail, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail, and that. And the thing is, though, if you say it's not correct, I mean, if it is a theoretical question like that, then it's not a test, it's just thinking. Which, I mean, at this point in the world, we just need more thinking regardless. Just thinking in general. Critical think. They always talk about teaching critical thinking. Like, I mean, we had in year 7, it was like all critical thinking. But it didn't really actually work or flourish into anything. It just... yeah, like, I mean, I had one guy at my church said, like, back in the day, they used to learn how to spot propaganda in writing and whatnot. And it's like, wow, that'd be real interesting. But and media bias and stuff like that would be really interesting. But yeah, so I mean, unless you had the theoretical test on being able to, like, the thinking thing in which it was monitored, be able to, like, they just then spotted incorrect logic or reasoning and said boom. But at the same time, as long as you're consistent on your reasoning, it's the base fact that you might disagree on, but then as long as you're consistent from then on, then that's good, because then you just have to figure out who's right about the base thing, which in some cases is you just can't, but in some cases you can. If you do, then the other person's like, as I actually had a discussion with someone a while back, about a month or two ago, saying like, okay, we can agree that if we're right about the base fact, then the other person is rational in their conclusions in that. And it took me a while to explain it, but then they agreed. Yeah, actually, yeah. If you're right on this, then da 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 da, and if I'm right on this, then da 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 da. What was it on? It was about what a certain word meant. I can't remember what the word. I think the word was flirting. I think it was on what flirting meant in that, and then if it meant this, then da 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 da, and if it meant that, da 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 da, and yeah, so they agreed that, yeah, so they're just like to do a logical, not to say like we still disagree on who's right or wrong or whatnot, but if that person's right, then I agree with your conclusion. If I'm right, then you agree with my conclusion. It was very interesting. Where is it going with that? There's lots of things. See, I'm just right now. There's always thinking. I've actually done 27 streams just since like May, and so it seems like, oh, I'm barely streaming. What is this guy? I mean, most of those streams were in May, but at the same time, that's still a lot of streams. Like, if each of them's like 2 hours, that's like 50 hours of content. Which I mean, sure, Netflix TV show. I'm not sure how long they are, but it's still a lot of content. Even though I might not do heaps in the current. I mean, if someone found my channel and thought, oh, this guy's interesting, they've got so much stuff to watch. Like probably 1,000 hours plus of content, I would think. You are a G indeed. There we go. Some kids don't know a G. Boom. Original gangster. Boom. That can be true. Plans are important, but flexibility is good too. Yes. Autism versus flexibility. Autism wins. Okay, there we go. My husband was in the OG in the US Army. Old guard. There we go. Being willing to adapt is important, and ability to think in the moment is vital, I think. Yes. True. Seems it's all biased today. Lol flirting. They've got a coffee gamer 360. Welcome to the stream. 360 no scope. 360. There's certain numbers that I'm like, oh, that actually has meaning. Like 360 because there's 360 degrees in the circle, and like on the 360, like the heyday that video they did 360 virtual reality or whatnot. So certain numbers I'm like, bam, bam, bam. There's certain numbers that wouldn't have a pattern, like I don't know, 172. Be like 172. If you make it an odd number, it's even more likely to be like prime numbers. The prime numbers don't really have patterns mostly, although 123, that's 123. But yeah, I was in a Discord call for 3.5 hours 2 days ago, and from 9 till 12:30, and yeah, it was interesting seeing how many patterns there were. I'm like, man, there's a lot of number patterns because it was sort of in the middle of the screen, so it was not a voice. It was not a video call; it was a voice call. So it was sort of like, it's like 0 and there's like 1, 2, 3, and then even like a 1, then 3, 1, 0, what? And I was like, patterns. It seemed like so many numbers were patterns. There's just patterns here, there, and everywhere. But there's someone that posted a while back, like this is the I don't know, 10th day of the 10th month of the 10th year of the, or it might have been the 21st of the 21st year of the 21st day of the, it couldn't have been 21st month, I'm not sure. Anyway, there we go. How's your day been? So far, so good. I got up at 10, about a quarter past 10, slept for 8 hours. Yeah, it was raining this morning, but it's, I can see clearly now the rain is gone. Okay, so I do want to get in this game. I do want to get into this game. I actually technically haven't got a time limit. I mean, I do have a time limit. I need to be somewhere by a certain time. So I need to leave. At 6. Probably 6:30 p.m. or whatnot. But I'm definitely not going to stream getting because I want to have dinner first. So maybe leave at, maybe finish. I don't know when I'll finish. Maybe an hour. Maybe an hour and a half. There we go. We have a tropical storm coming. Fred. Boom. Boom. That's not good. Boom. Okay, so let's get into this game. Let's get into it. Boom. Boom, 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 boom. Diddle it, 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 deal, deal. Okay. What am I gonna do? Boom. 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 Okay. Here we go. The game you've all been waiting for. I give you valleys and villages. This morning I actually collected all the mushrooms and the raspberries because my supply was depleted, which is sort of a good activity to do on stream. But yeah, my computer is so slow this morning. The space was just dying. It's just dying. So I've bought a 4 terabyte drive. Boom. So there we go. There is hope. $17. I put this in the title actually because in case people are looking. There is hope. Is that spelled correctly? $17. Yeah, so in case people are looking for it. Okay, so I should put a road here as well. Yeah, and we're going to level up to level 12, which I can do immediately by tapping that. So we got our 8th worker very recently, and there's been a lot of chat, and I like to explain the chat. And oh, there's just so many things to say and just flooded with them. So also, I've thought of my theoretical best ideal, considering there's a limited supply of coins and you can only upgrade your guys. So actually, they've got a lot of stuff to be doing. So most of them, it's not like short tasks that I'm like, okay, boom, boom, boom. We're waiting on the final castle. Oh, there's just so many things to show you. There really is. Boom. Oh, and then there's that. So I think that Paradise and Aaron are not actually moving up very fast. Well, they're not, and I think that those two of all the members in the valley are contributing the least. Not is it a criticism? It's an observation in that. It's yeah. I'm not suggesting that we kick them. I'm just saying I consider that they do the least. Like if you look at the statue tasks, they don't actually do that much. But with certain things like the boats, they actually came at the same time, basically within a minute. So that was very rare. Yeah, and so, boom. But if we go to the statue, it would show who's done most of them. But I don't think Aaron and the Paradise have done any at all. Have they done any? There's 1 by Paradise. 2 by Paradise. And the difficulty, the 3 by Paradise. But really not that many. Out of 100. So if you did 10 on average, although the top ones will be doing way more anyway, Swarren and that, which are maxed out at 15. Hey, welcome to the stream, Jocelyn Senna. Boom. I like the name Jocelyn. Do I know Jocelyn? Joyce? Jocelyn? I know a Jocelyn. Yeah, okay. So, and then the leaderboards, we're still first by 7. And yeah, we're still leading them by 7, which is a lot. I've calculated it would be over a month. If we all stopped for a month, we'd still be ahead of them after a month's worth, which is a hang of a long time, really, in a game. 30 days of absolutely nothing, and then we'll still be ahead. So my supplies. So there's that. I'm going to go through the chat. Oh, yeah, so this. We're revving that back up. Well, I did a whole heap of these, so I waited. Since there was so many that came, I actually waited slightly to tap on the ones that were the most expensive. These two things always clogging it up. Same with the purple and green dyes. Actually, the yellow and the yellow ones don't clog it up. The yellow and blue, I actually have done a few of them, and the red ones. But there's few things every time. That one sometimes clogs it up. Oh, and those ones they've been done by Aaron. But I don't know. It'd be interesting to see what they are to unlock. But I am focused on not doing. I don't actually care. I don't even want to go down that line of unlocking those things yet, because I'd rather unlock other things. So I want to do this one first, and then I will bounce back and do 1, 2, and 1, 2. Potentially that one actually, because it's just shorter. Whereas these ones are like become 10 hours. I would like to get the wood, but then I have to unlock this, which I don't care. I don't care about that. I don't care about that. I don't care about that. Because they're just, yeah. Yeah, I actually could get them, though, but that's only 5,000, whereas ones like that become 10,000. That one's, like, shorter than that. It's weird how it does that. But, yeah, so I'll do this one, and then I reckon I'll go boom, boom, because I really want to have it so I can have a higher chance at starting when they start. It makes it easier to do those tasks, and then that and that. So that will then allow more stuff in the warehouse, which is good, and that one product which sometimes is there that I miss. Oh yeah, that should be done now. Yeah, they're all maxed out, and that's the one I haven't got from that. So there's that. I've actually figured out that I can do long tasks now, like 900 rock ones and 1,200 clay ones. So it's real cool. It's like, oh, actually I can do these, which in the past I was like, no, they're way too big, I can't do them. But actually I've sort of done I've done a couple of them, and I'm like, wow, I can do them, which gives me way more freedom. And rather than, for example, only being able to do tasks for like 1 to 2 days, I can actually do it for the majority of the time. And there's sort of just the 1 day left, which is this sort of where it gets stagnated and doesn't move. I think there's... Oh, someone's finally taken it. I'm pretty sure the devs must have changed it, because they used to be 1,000 brick tasks, and then they just suddenly reduced, but there wasn't an update. So they must have just internally done it, because, yeah, the 1,000 brick tasks were real, like, taking ages. So I think actually that has changed it, assuming they did change that. So all of these, so then it's sort of like a day of no, because I finished a task just yesterday, so it's only like a day cooldown of me not having any tasks to do. And these ones are 600, so I wouldn't have wanted them anyway, even if I did pick them quick enough. Man, Mycelia is getting them and doing them. Maybe they used the boost, I don't know, because you had to get, I actually calculated one of them wrong. But you'd have to then get up in the night for some of them, and it's like, no, I'm not doing that. And yeah, some of them mathematically aren't possible, I'm pretty sure. Peter, welcome to the stream. Peter, boom. And Kim, welcome to the stream. There we go. Oh, Ricky, very nice. Boom, Food Street, yes, I've seen him a tiny bit of him playing that game. But it's good that he has different games that he likes as well. Boom. Yeah, good to see you, Peter. Good to see you, Kim. So yeah, and because it's only 1 day cooldown, it means I can be doing tasks which can keep my guys in rotation, which means I reckon there's just enough. I sort of decided this just yesterday. I was like, actually, I'm getting just enough coins to stay afloat in that, because of the fact that I can keep all the guys working on that, which gives me reputation rather than coins, but that's fine, because I want to get to the top of the reputation road anyway. I've actually got to 15,000, so I'm starting to soar, because I'm completing tasks that are like 500, so if I can do like maybe 4 of them per thing, that's 2,000 every single 5-day event cycle or whatnot. So I reckon I'll pass Aaron in Paradise in terms of that, which will look really impressive. It'll be like, yes, I'm no longer the lowest ranked one. Mycelia is the only other level 12. So there's, because AP recently got to 15, so there's 3 15s, there's 1, 2, 3 14s, and then there's 1, 2 13s. 12 and 11, and I'm by the end of the stream I will be 12 as well, so then 2 12s, 2 13s. But yeah, if I can get a 13, then I'll look very impressive, which I reckon I will be able to get 13 within a month, so hopefully before they update the game next, which will be good. Those top 2 are soaring ahead. Although I realized one thing, that as soon as they hit 20,000, I thought this just yesterday, it's like, oh, that means that they'll start having decay, so that you get decay, so you lose points every time. So that's why it makes it harder, and people are sort of, that's the center of gravity. People are always moving towards 20,000 realistically. Like, everyone below it is moving up towards it, and everyone above it is... Not everyone, a lot of the, all inactive players are always moving towards it as well, and people that aren't getting a high, fast enough rate of the thing is also moving towards it. So it's sort of like not the center, but it's sort of like this. That said, these here are the top some of the top players in the world, because this is the top valley in the world, which isn't necessarily meant as top. Well, it kind of does, but yeah. So so these are, even though it's like, wow, you're the lowest, but it's like, yeah, but these are some of the top players in the game. Most players aren't this high. I mean, these are in the Discord server, which is pretty dead. Not many people saying much stuff. There's one guy that's advertising people can join his valley if they're level 6. It's like, level 6, that's extremely low requirement. I mean, at that point, you might as well not even have requirements, I was thinking. Then I thought, but then actually, it says something about you. It says you have standards if you say it's 6, even though 6 is so low that people would get there in such a short amount of time, you may as well just say anyone can join. But still, yeah, and so it's like, flip. 6 is like, that, because I only played for like a month or so, right back when it happened. In about December 2020, which I enjoyed, but then I stopped. But then I've only been back. I've actually been back, no, not more than a month now. I've been back since it's about May or June. So it's been at least 2 months now. But it's incredible. I'm like almost at level 12. And it's only been like maybe 3 to 4 months of me playing this game. And 15 is the max level in the game. So I'm actually pretty boosting it towards it. And when you get to 15, it actually kind of gets a bit boring. In the sense that you have heaps of workers out of action and whatnot. Although the thing is, they haven't maxed out the progress because they still be getting coins. So actually, this is not a good valley for them. Because as soon as you hit the max amount of reputation points, which I'm not sure what it is, then, is it 40,000? Then there's no point getting any more. Oh, actually, so only 2 people have even hit that. But realistically, the main milestone points in this that you can get to are the biggest ones. There's 40,000 and there's 28,000 and there's 20,000. I'd say they are the 3 biggest. And why are they the 3 biggest? Well, 20,000 is the highest you can possibly go without getting any decay, and the second you get one above that, decay starts happening, which makes it much harder. 28k because it's the last actual upgrade thing that you get other than these chests, which aren't even very good. So as soon as you... So 28k is sort of like the perfect spot, because I'm assuming that when you drop below it, then you don't lose that thing. But as soon as you hit it, you can max out everything in your base to maximum level 10, and beyond that, the value, the return is very minimal. You're just getting all these chests that are not very good at all. And so... yeah, the 28 is that's the big, like, ooh, big 28. That's the number. I mean, 20 is just annoying because it decays, but you've basically got almost everything by that point. There's just one construction token, which I don't think you'd use that many guys, that many tasks anyway, because you wouldn't have that many on the go, I don't think. Oh, I don't know how I've got so many already. Is that simultaneously upgrading, or that you have, so one... Does that mean you can't do X amount of buildings? I'm not sure how that works. Or you can't have that many guys working on buildings at once. You get so many of them. I haven't even using that one. Or production area. I don't know. I must have hit that recently. That means I can put 3 guys on, which on occasion I use, not much. Also, I've noticed that with the 8 guys, you actually do start needing 2 workers on the field, which is annoying. It is inefficient, but 2 workers, yeah. Because there's not enough time, because I've sort of maxed out all the 6 other resources that I can get, like fish is just sitting on full, and soldiers sitting on full, and that you can't actually use them there, so you have to use them in the village. And if you're doing those tasks all the time, the statue tasks that use them up. So yeah, the biggest milestones I reckon are 20k, 28k, and 40k. But honestly, 40k is just worthless. So basically, I mean, only the few top players in the world have made it there. Although Mycelia will get there pretty soon. So will Billowbacks, although they don't seem to... I mean, they're active, but obviously not that active, because only at 26k. They're level 14, which they're almost maxed, yet they're still sort of sitting at 26k. And especially with a coin shortage, then you think that'd be you think that would then force people to use all their resources on the thing, because if you can't be getting coins because you've maxed out all your resources, which isn't hard to do, then the only alternative is to be using them up via, if you can't exchange them for coins, which you can't in a hood. That's why I'm sort of surprised that people that are level 15 don't actually just don't just go to their own hood. I mean, I guess there's the value of being in a nice hood, but also if you... Because the thing is, you can keep upgrading your guys. That's the difference. And so there's basically no limit on that, because 2.5 million coins, I think it was. It was something insane in order to max out your things. And there's no way that they will have got that many million coins. So there's still troops that they won't have done. That said, though, you don't need to max out most of them in most things. Like, you do not need all of them maxed out in research. Most of them you don't need a single research, and you only need to research... I'd say at maximum 2 of them you'd do the research thing, just so when you're upgrading the other one, then it's that. But even so, that's very inefficient as well, to get 2 people highly upgraded in research, when realistically you're only ever going to use 1. And you'll have 1 guy on food 100% of the time, so you don't need to train him in any other skill. You just need to have 1 guy solely on food the whole time. And when you get this high, almost 2 guys... Oh no... You can technically drop them off a little bit, but it's pretty rare, so yeah, so these people would still have stuff to do. Anyway, my point being that with the, I'm just talking through lots of things. This here, again, sorry, so yeah, I'm not really interacting with the chat much. I'm sort of doing this for a historical record of what the game is like for people looking back at it in the future, and also people that are actually searching this up. So then I'm actually telling them information. Tips and tricks is the title said. Well, I think, I'm not sure if that tips and guide or whatnot. I'm just saying all these different things about it. So yeah, so 20,000. So I'm actually skyrocketing, but as soon as you get to 20,000, then it becomes sort of even trickier for people that are still focusing on coins and that, because then, but that said though, I can normally still 100% focus on the reputation and coins. And I mean, technically you can't be 100% focused on both. Like, I could be doing the coin thing more efficiently, but I know it's going to max out soon, so I don't put 100% on the coins thing. But I'm not losing out on the coins thing, because I'm still getting the maximum capacity of coins I can get. So I can still have 100% on the reputation, so that's still going as fast as it possibly can up. But as in, if you could either get coins or that, then it would be tricky, because if you win about half each, then it would be very hard to be moving up on the reputation, because you're losing it. Although I think it's only 5% or something, so it's not a huge loss. But when you're at 40,000 and you're losing 5% on your 20,000, that's actually quite impactful. Would it be 2,000 and then half 2,000? Would that be 1,000 a day? If so, that's heaps. Nah, it couldn't be. Surely not. Otherwise, they would. If it's 5% of 20,000, though, yeah. 1,000 a day. That sounds excessive. But yeah, anyway, so that's the, as soon as you get to 28,000, there's like really not that much point. I mean, for the players that have maxed out everything else other than the coin thing for the workers. I mean, but then at the same time, there's no point with maxing out your workers if 8 of them aren't even working anyway, because the only reason you'd have good workers is because you're trying to absolutely maximize all of them going all the time. But if half of them, most of them aren't even in action, like Swarren isn't, and same for Allison, then it's like, well, there's absolutely no point. Well, unless, I'd say the point is because A, it's just cool to max out everything you possibly can, and B, when the next update comes, maybe there will be a purpose, and suddenly it'll be like, oh, this is real competitive, we need to have them going. But at this point, it's sort of like, it doesn't even benefit you to upgrade your guys, in the sense that you're already maxing out the maximum amount of stuff you can do with most of you guys not even in work. So, yeah, it's just like in real life. You want to have a high employment rate in this game as well. Boom. So his head is floating. Yes, and we're in green. This is the case. Okay, there we go. So, yeah, that and the 40,000 is sort of the final big boom, you hit it. It used to be 10,000 that the reputation rate was at. But you sort of go up, you get like far, like it's 100 interval, 200 interval, 200 interval, 200, 200. So it's sort of like 200, 300 and that, but then up here it becomes, it's not actually that, but yeah, 1,000. Yeah, that's quite big. That's like 5 times more. Anyway, so there's that, and yeah, then these are the top valleys in the world, which I don't think that's going to be true. So I was going to leave, but now, I'll take you through the chat, but now I think I'm going to stay, because I've hit this perfect niche of realizing that I can do these 900 tasks, or 1,200 clay tasks, or 900 rock tasks, and then I can do those tasks, and then it's really helpful, because then I can just do that for most of the time, and that keeps my guys in work enough of the time. Still get enough coins, which it will be suffering the other coins, because I've been getting quite a high percentage of the boats recently, which all the other players would then be like, I'm strangling, I'm dying for coins, whereas I'm like, yes, I can get the coins, and so then I'm able to keep them all in work, and as long as I can do that, then I'm happy to stay, even if it's mostly reputation points, because at this point in the game, reputation points actually benefit me, not as much as coins, but still they do benefit me, being able to get like, oh yeah, so I'll do that, and then, and in fact, I'll collect that right now. So then I haven't actually done number 2, so how are they up to this level? I wonder if the new ones that I've unlocked can't get to level 2. I chose Elmo, and that, he's redhead. Boom. Okay, there we go. So, we have here, yeah, so at skill level 8, which is cool, and yeah, so, because, yeah, the crafting production, I used to think that was the most important one. I'm like, oh, crafting production, because you can do heaps. That was when because if you only do one item, then it actually it is really annoying having every time for just one item come back online, one item, come back online, one item and that. But as soon as you got 3, then that's more than enough, and so having these extra crafting things doesn't actually help much. I mean, when the game changes, I'm sure it will, when they make it like, oh, there's a lot of stuff going on, but at this point it's like, I'm actually still maxed on most of the resources in 3. I mean, because I got quite depleted in the bakery, because I accidentally did the thing where I did two bread, but I only had 1 slot, so then it was sort of stuck, and then there was no bread request for ages, so then I can't make anything, so I got real depleted, but then it just gone whoop, straight back up in like a couple of days. So actually the most important one is shipping tokens, because that's your main competition. That's your main outlet for coins with your other people in your valley. So you want to have as many of those as you can, so then you can... So I should be getting that in 2,000, so shipping tokens, and then when will the next one be? Age is away at 26,000. But yeah, I should get that pretty soon, so then I'll have 8 shipping tokens, which will be nice. So that will give me just that extra 500 coins if I can manage to get it. It's so competitive. I was like, I did it that last time. It was like, I did it the best one yet. And it was like, there's like 3 people online. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is gonna be so speedy. And so the boat had come, it was coming in. I was like getting ready. As soon as the box comes up, tap, and I was just like boom, 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 and I'd done 7. Was it 7 orders? 7 orders in 8 seconds. In 8 seconds, and then a snapshot of it. So it was open the boat, and it was like tap, 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 before anyone had done a single order, and there's 3 people online, and I'd just gone, brah. It was like the quickest pit stop. It was like, it was like so quick. It's like 2 taps per second, and that, which doesn't actually seem like that much, but when it's calculated, because you have to figure out what tasks you can actually do and can't do, that is fast, before someone even taking a task, although there's a delay in which it shows that other people have done the tasks, but it's not that much of a delay. It's enough to be like, oh, tap it, and then you can't do it. But I was lucky that the ones I tapped weren't someone else had done. Because if you sort of get a bad one, you're like, oh, why doesn't this work? And then you're sort of like trying to figure that out. And then by the time you tapped on the next one, it's like too late. It's gone. They happened once or twice to me, and I was like, no, and I missed most of the tasks. So I was off throwing. But yeah, I was like, this wasn't this shipment here, but it was another one. It was so funny. It was like, and it was like the whole thing was just whoosh, and I just got all this coins from it, and all those other people were sort of like out of coins, so they missed out. Oh no, they got some, but I'd done the 7, so it was so fast. It was crazy, and so the boat was like, basically, if you had like 4 people and they didn't have these silly tasks, you'd have the boat could come and go within 10 seconds. That's how fast. Like if it took me 8 seconds to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then you had someone else do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You had someone in 2, 3, 4. Although actually you can do up to 9. Yeah, you can do up to 9. So oh no, but technically it would be even faster because you could have 2 people max out the boat because the maximum shipping tokens is 9. I've only got 7 at the moment, but if I get 20 something thousand XP, 26,000 I think, then you'd have 2 people do the entire boat, like a little section each. And so within 9 seconds, the boat could just go and it leaves again. And if you had all 10 people on and they did 2 tasks each, so it's like boom, 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 you probably have it go in 4 seconds. The same time that Luigi took to do the pit stop. Was it Luigi or it was Guido? I think it was Guido. Yeah, anyway, so it was like boom. So yeah, it's fast, man. It's fast. So there's that. So yeah, that is super speedy. But I'm getting just enough coins to stay alive, and currently I've got this many. But as soon as you sort of research someone, then she won't have enough XP yet because it will be. She just started, yeah, oh, but she'll fast get it, but they're 8,000, so it's like, whoa, 15,000, but then you just, like, lose over half of them, just boom, like that, to do one upgrade, which I will do, because I want to get that. But yeah, so I got my new guy, Elmo, so that's nice to have him. Redhead, and, like, Elmo, like the creature, that red creature. And as soon as we tap that, then we'll be level 12, which will be cool. I'm just trying to think of everything, and then I'm going to talk you through my theory of the best possible way to upgrade your guys. So yeah, there's a lot of different things to talk about, as you can see. So let's go back through the chat. As soon as you'll stand there, I will. I was so close to leaving, and then I said to Mr. Shane, actually, I'm going to stay as long as possible, because I thought there'd be another big period of, like, 2 days where I can't actually use the guys, and then I was just going to leave. Which, that would be a valid option as well, but I do definitely, if I can get enough coins to stay alive, to keep upgrading my buildings, then and having all my guys in work, maybe like the odd time there's one that can't work, but the majority of the time, then I'll be like, nah, I'll stay. There we go. Daisy, Storms, Flower Girl. Boom, boom. Not terrified of storms, but I do respect them. Lightning. Super KK, welcome to the stream. There we go. I'll be going by Wednesday, Peter, which is good because I have an appointment. Man, I can talk about a game, that's for sure. It's weird because my guy Dennis Prager said regarding whether you become like a radio host, which I hadn't actually considered, although it said in about 2014, 2015 at school, that was the big thing. Everyone's like, I want to be a radio host, I want to be a radio host. And it was there's Fairburns film about a YouTube channel that did about doing a podcast, and it's sort of people that think like they're really funny and they're like, let's go do a podcast. And I mean, I don't go for it, and it will fast be revealed whether you are funny or not, or whether people find you interesting or not. Although then you can't conflate that with whether people find you a stream or not. Just like YouTube, you do like a couple of videos and no one found me while I'm a useless YouTuber, when it's like, no, that's not the case. It's just there is that massive factor as well. What was the other thing I was going to think of? I was going to say about like in Clash Quest, you can have these rounds, you do so bad, when actually a massive factor is involved in the luck of the mix of your troops at the start, and so you can do really bad and think, I'm useless. The game, it's like, no, it's because the game's making you feel like that, because they just give you randomized things. Some of them that are just absolute trash, but you don't notice that that's the massive reason why you utterly failed to level. Okay, where are we going with that? We're going back to appointment, Fernand, Super K. What was I saying before? No. Storm. Oh, what was I? With luck. Oh yeah, to do with the radio thing. That's right, talking about the game launch. Yeah, because he said like, oh, you want to know if you're a good radio host. Like, and when at this time, maybe 2014, 2015, when it was like, oh, I want to be a radio host in my school. Lots of people, lots of boys. It wasn't something I thought of much. It's like, no, I wasn't set on it. So, but yeah, he said that like, well, go into a room and talk about something for 3 hours and whatnot. And I was like, yeah, I couldn't do that or whatnot. But then at the same time, it's just given, even without chat, just chuck a game in front of me, and I'll be able to commentate on it for like 3 hours, easy. So it's interesting because like on a given, just like go into a room by myself and talk about something for 3 hours. I'm sure I could do it, but I'd struggle. Be like, oh, sort of like without the questions, like what do I? It's actually a really masterful skill to be able to ask people good questions to get them to give interesting answers. And I noticed that with Prager, he interviewed a guy from the Middle East, Palestinian guy. It was really interesting interview in that, really interesting. And Prager knows what questions are. His questions and private must be really interesting as well. So he just knows what questions to ask, and it's extremely difficult skill to master in that, to ask questions, because everyone, like I would say, I consider a lot of people not interesting, but if you ask the right questions, everyone has the capacity to be interesting, because there's always interesting information that you can extract and that you can get. And he has Prager thinks about the audience. So okay, well, how can I make this interesting for them? Because there might be some very technical, specific questions you can discuss. You're like, no, they won't enjoy that. So he's thinking about it, and it's really interesting. So he has a great time, and chucks in questions that interest him as well as the audience. It's like, oh, it's brilliant. But it's funny how I could freestyle talk for something for like 3 hours, although it'd be sort of hard. I'd find it like, well, because I want to be able to answering someone's question. I want it to be interesting. I want to tailor my conversation to them so they understand it. But in this game, I can easily commentate for 3 hours and just on all sorts of. But I mean, it's sort of such basic. Like if you're just telling them what you're doing, then it's like anyone can do that. You're just saying like, okay, I'm going to tap the egg, which has increased my eggs, so suddenly I've gone up by 1. I can cheat the eggs by clicking on the village kitchen. If we look, we are now at 38. So we must have 37 before we tapped on that. As we can see, there is a second egg over here, so it's times 1 times. You get 1 every half an hour. And so we'll tap that, which then will increase the supply. As you can see the visual, it goes up to that, and now we're up to 39 eggs, and there'll be new ones that are coming along, and it's about a tiny section, maybe an eighth of it done, and it takes 30 minutes, so hopefully in 25 minutes it should be so look how much content you can make on just collecting an egg. Now I did tell you a couple of facts during that, like about how it takes 30 minutes, and this is the visual does this, but you can just make so much up about just such basic things like collecting a single egg, and there's 30 seconds of conversation. And then you say, let's talk about collecting a single honeycomb. Like, I could just go with the honeycomb. So as you can see here, we have a honeycomb, which it looks like honey because it's like got that comb-like thing like the bee movie, and it looks a little bit like bees. It's got the little 3 honey as the icon. That's the standard icon for the honeycomb. It's actually similar in a game called Heyday to that. So it's right there, and then there's the times 1, which shows how many there is to collect. So I'm going to tap it, and then what it does is it goes into my storage. So it floats across into the storage, and it is stored right here called honey. So it's actually honey, not honeycomb. You can convert the honeycomb to soup from 2 to 1. From 1 honey, it gives you 2 soup. And I've currently got 95 in stock. As you can see, it shows 95 out of 100. And when we collect another one, it will come and up the total to 96. Now you can add to that, so it can stock up to 9 with the current level of my honey machine. So you can upgrade the honey machine. It's currently at a level which allows it to store 9, and they're generated every hour. So as I tap it, the visual will zoom up straight into that and be collected in storage. Now the items don't actually rot, they stay there forever, and then I can use them at a later date if I want, such as converting them to the soup, or I can use them for an auto task, or I can use them for a boat task. So there's many different uses for it, and it just sort of sits there. It doesn't actually disappear or go away. If it is sitting above that, it just stays there and just waits there until you collect it, and it slowly builds up to 9, so you have to collect every 9 hours, otherwise you can't, and it's just wasting away and won't generate you any new ones. And in the storage of it, it stays up to 100, so technically you can hold in effect 109, because if you have that maxed at 100 and then you have 9 sitting right there, then that is the maximum amount. Now there is an upgrade for the honey machine coming up soon, which if we go over here and we tap on here, we can research and we can look at it, and it's not that one right there, but it's somewhere. This one right here, which lets you increase the honey storage, which the capacity of your beehives, meaning that I'll be able to store more than 9. Now my guess is that it will allow me to store 12, because it's just sort of one of those things. I think it might be like level 3 currently, so then it's like it stores 3, it stores 6, stores 9, stores 12 potentially next time, so then I'll be able to have 112 in total of honey in effect, because I've got the 100 in the thing in the storage, and this thing here, which the village kitchen, which actually I'll be upgrading that soon, so then it might be 120 that I can store. So it's currently level 7, the village kitchen, and you get, I think, about approximately 20 extra honey storage per turn, so we'll see. And so then we're 112, so it increases the total. So currently it's 1 times, and then as new ones come along, they just stack, and it says times 2, times 3, times 4, all the way up to times 9. Currently at times 1, so I'm about to collect it, and then it will go into storage. It's got that nice cool glowing effect that is just going like zoom, like you've unlocked an item. It's very visually pleasing. So I'll tap it now, and then I'll do it into storage and show you it increasing from 95 honey to, if we tap that, and whoop, there it goes small, then whoop, straight into that, and as we come here, we now have 96 honey. And if we come back to here, the next one is already generating. It was generating before I collected it. It doesn't matter if you've already generated or not. It just slowly collects away. So, yeah, currently honey capacity is 9. Building level is 3. So it's been upgraded 3 times. So assuming the first time it would store 3. And time to produce 1 item is 1 hour. So it's done, I'm not sure, maybe a 10th of it, so it might be another 50 minutes or so. That wouldn't be 50 minutes, that'd be 54 minutes, and yeah, you got the XP from that. So that is indeed the beehive which produces honey. Boom, so there we go, just like that, and you can just, I mean, I did say a few facts throughout that, but you can just talk for so long on the most basic of things. You talk about the different trees and just commentate on how it's got this tree here has one big bushy part with 2 smaller ones, and it reminds me a little bit like one of those trees that has the downward things like a pineapple tree and then the big bushy thing on top, and a little bit like a cabbage tree maybe, where it's just sort of along the bottom and then all of a sudden boom at the top. Yeah, and it's called a stand of trees. Now if we come over to this one here, this one's called a stand of trees also. This one is similar to this one, but this one has 3, whereas this one only has 2, although the trees are not the same, because these ones have a more rounded object versus this one here that has the sort of more bushy coconut-like trees. It almost looks like potentially that could be a coconut. No, that's actually the stem. So I don't know if that is that. Oh, is that a tree in behind? I'm not sure, because it looks like there's 1 stump, but then if you come over here, there's then suddenly 3. Oh no, that one's to do with that. 2 stumps. I'm not sure if they're connected or not. You can see the outline of the yellow that goes around it. Now you can always get a guy to cut it down, which I think's sad because I like the look of it. And if we go to info, there are 3 out of 3 wood left together, so that's saying there's 3 stumps. Was this one here? Maybe I cut down 1 way back in the day. Oh, 2 out of 2. No, it actually is just a different type of tree. As you can see, the shading goes to the etc. You can just go on and on and on and on and on the most basic of things. So comment, whereas I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to actually legitimately comment on reasonably sophisticated like decent moves that you can make, and how to use your troops in different, like, all notable points that you probably or potentially haven't thought of. Okay, let's get back to this chat, which I'll be severely delayed on. Severely. Oh, I'm feeling quite tired actually after all the talking. There we go. So can't find out tomorrow. Look at the topographical map. I don't like Georgia no more. Can I move in Daisy? Yeah. Hello, Matthew. Not like in the call with you or anything. Your homeowner's insurance, no, if you are in a flooding place. It's a shame that the YouTube deletes some of the messages, or they don't show up, or they only show up on certain devices or whatnot. Do not know you, Super KK. It's fine, Suicide. I'm joking. Suicide is wearing green. My head is floating. Yes, floating head. Can I play this in the United States? No, you cannot. I am seen. Welcome to the stream though. And oh, Sean's here. Sean, welcome to the stream. There we go. It's currently, thank you, Lynn, for putting that there. Ash. Sad face. Clash with Ash? Hi, Sean. Where is Sean? Oh, I am Sean. Oh, I see. You changed your name from Sean Carbon. Can play. Oh, it might be different, Sean. How do you find the stream? You've probably left by now. That's probably ages ago these messages were. Get out of a game that's unavailable. Yeah, there we go. Apple count in the country will use VPN. Like when he says, Elmo, yes. The little red dude. There's Elmo and the Cookie Monster. And then there's the Thug Life edit of Kermit. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Cookie Monster. That's funny. Pardon me. Okay, there we go. And I move close with you in a few years. Boom. I'm my daughter. I'm gonna get this game, try it out, even though I know nothing about it. So I'm new. That's all good, Kim. I enjoy it. It's a little bit like Heyday. A little bit like Heyday. Heyday was a little bit like Coon Game Farmer, an old browser game from 2011. No, before 2011, maybe 2008. It was similar time, but that game was before Heyday. Supersite, you've done commentary for this is true, but it's on. But that's because I have a visual thing, like something specific to talk about. Even the most basic of basic things you can make up, or not make up stuff. You can comment. So I feel like it comes down to the level of this. You could say this in many different ways. It's almost 3-3-3-3 to the level of the quality of. The level of quality of the observations. So sometimes you can be given very helpful, insightful ones, like I find Prager does on life, which is very important, but in games, and so you can do super well that most people haven't thought of, like, whoa, that's really helpful, or you can just comment masses of just absolutely basic stuff. So I try and do actually decent things, and sometimes I actually do it there we go. It's 3-3-3-3-3. No, there's too many threes. 3-3-3-3. But sometimes I might actually think, oh no, that's too basic, and go too high a level that I actually miss out some basic tips that I thought, oh, I assumed people would know that. So I have the risk of doing that. With some people, I've been told it by someone that in real life, they're like, yeah, like, you state the obvious or whatnot, but I'm like, it's not obvious what's obvious. That's the problem. For some people, some things are so obvious, and other people have never heard or never thought of them. So it's extremely hard to gauge what the obvious is, what the average person knows, and what the average. So that's why I say excessively stuff, I guess, which isn't really excessively. I need to put this on charge. Actually, I just remembered. I'll quickly get the charger. Gonna die before I plug it in. I'll be like, no! Boom. Saved by the bell, as they say at school. You often not saved by the bell, because they make you stay in even after the bell. Boom, I had a 20-minute shower this morning. It was nice. Whoa, my face is severely blurred right now. That's so blurred. Oh, that was so weirdly blurred. Okay, there we go. I liked that blur. Sometimes I wonder if people can reverse engineer blur things. So if you like blurred out like a password, they could like figure out where the reflection of light is by trying heaps of different combinations and exactly which pixels are black around it. Unless you blurred it like so much that they couldn't. But I feel like, I don't know, one day that people might be able to go back onto people's videos and reverse blur things so they'll be able to figure out what it actually was. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna I don't know. I mean, there's probably someone else has made that exact same observation. I don't know. I've never heard anyone make that observation. It just occurred to me, like, well, a few months ago, actually. I don't think I've mentioned it on stream. I tried to remember what I mentioned on stream. Sometimes a double up. Collecting an egg, boom. I'm gonna pass. Still play Battlelands. Oh! Oh, they're gonna run out of food, actually. But then it doesn't give you a notification if you're online. It's just like, we're out of food. I've actually got real low on the egg supply. I don't know what to do now. This is problematic. Unless I just get one of them, so like, because I wanted them to build in. Oh man, it's because these are long tasks. There's a lot of stuff to do. I could just take off the wood. Oh, I could build another one actually. Build that third farm, which I currently don't have room for, so I could move things along. Could do that, but I definitely only have 3 on. So I think I'll just chuck the person on wood on this Livette, boom, and then that hopefully. That shouldn't take much. Just a couple of eggs ought to do it. Boom, boom, and they'll be away. Yep. Okay, so then that's all good. Cool beans, and we will collect that package at the end, and then I'll go through my favorite suggestions of the best order to do things. My theoretical one that I thought of, was it today? Yeah, it was today. Collect an egg, boom. Okay. How many? 45 minutes for enough. I have so many games I just got rid of that I played then. Yeah, I have to keep deleting apps because my iPad's still full. 256. So annoying that it's full. One thing I've never understood games like that. One thing I've never understood in games is the idea of research. It was in Hexonia. I never understood it since I didn't play. What was the research in that game? Oh, I can't even remember. It's like you can get more abilities if you like spend time. It's sort of like in real life, as in you could spend time. So it might be like, let's say you're an anti-plague. It's an anti-plague game, and you could spend time researching stuff. And there might be 2 types of viruses. There might be measles, and there might be chickenpox, and you can like get your in-game guys to either research chickenpox or research measles, and like you might have like, let's say you have one guy, the only one scientist that's able to research that. You can dedicate it 50% of time to each, and so he'll sort of become somewhat effective at dealing with both, or you could do it at just like full out measles. So then if you have a measles outbreak, then it's like boom, we nailed it because we've done a heap of research on exactly what causes it, what to prevent it, etc. But we've done no research on chickenpox, so that we're going to fail in that area. Likewise with troops, you can train them to be like really good in the game, like really good, and in real life, really defensive. You can make them super defensive, so that really defensive and know how to defend well. Or you could make them be really stealthy instead, so that they're not as good at being defensive, but they're really good at being stealthy. So it's sort of like in the Hexonia, if there's troops that you could research up, well, you have to pick a path, and then you sort of get better in that area. Maybe that explains it a little bit. Trover cutout. I do like trying new games, Peter. I haven't been doing it recently as much as I do enjoy it. It looks like we're getting down to the chat. Trover's been not been cut out much. There we go, Peter. Have you seen many videos? I mean, like, yeah, that one. Miscellaneous. Miraculous. Miscellaneous games. Slowly working through his videos I've never seen. Boom. He tries to. I do. So many that I lost count a long time ago. Boom. I had been wanting to do them for the last many months, but just haven't got around to it, which is not good. How many heyday? Boom. Okay. Oh, full on. We've had a maximum of 7 people to stream so far. Currently 3 here. Full on. Boom. Oh yeah, and then you'll be able to see in the future. Oh, what the? That's glitched. In the future, with what chat they get rid of. I don't want to give myself a sore throat. Okay, we're going for it now. And I've got through saying most of the main things. Upgrade that. Because then I could get out a whole Excel sheet and compare the 2 different things, which, like, the old, like, us getting better over time, like, the sort of tracking the chart a bit better. It's not consistent. And Heyday, I once did that. It's like the 20-something of, maybe it was like 20, was it 20, no, it wasn't 2016. It might have been 2017, like 20 of August 2017. I got a full leaderboard things, and it was really interesting. And then I did it like a month later, and it snapshot all on the exact, so you could track it at a consistent rate, whereas me, it was like, sort of like, it might be like a week apart, and then it might be like a month apart, and so it's sort of not consistent. But still, if you can identify which ones they were, it's kind of fine. Although the Heyday one is problematic, because they didn't have a unique identifier number, so they kind of did in their record of coins, because that's pretty unique. And then it was hard to track, it was just line them all up in Excel. Trover's not shown on your chart. On my chart? It's showing up on that it's live. Trovo. Refresh that there. Is it live? Pardon me. It showing me it's live. Yeah, it shows us live. I'm drained. I don't know why I get so drained sometimes. Okay. I love that massive present thing, a photo I've put in Valleys and Villages. Someone created a Reddit for it, but there's not many people on the Reddit. There's a Discord server. It was like there's so many people joining, and this had just died out. Although most people aren't leaving, but maybe some have. Oh no, my iPad just totally turned off. What the? Okay, there we go. All those bots. No, some have left. I think we got to over 100. Now it's at 90. I don't know why. It's either those people just quit the game. I'm not sure. Not too sure. All I know is Father's Day. Father's Day is on Sunday. Happy Father's Day. What day is Father's Day? Not too sure. Man, I used to be so with this streaming stuff. I was like just going for it, and then these days I'm so just not for it, not going for it. Okay, man, that went awfully silent, didn't it? Oh no, I could stream this in the Valleys and Villages server, technically. Can you just go live like that? Oh, you can. I guess it's that easy. It's kind of cool. Screen. Talk to someone from Valleys and Villages. That'd be kind of cool, actually. Where? Oh, I know where it's gone because it turned off. No, it does that thing rather than that corner. It's kind of annoying. There we go. I'm gonna. It's just so easy to stream. It's just like sharing your screen, really. That's all it's doing. Okay. Screen. Boom. Oh, I have to lower quality. Boom. There we go, on Discord now. Even you viewers can come chat if you'd like. In the Valleys and Villages Discord server, which I can give you the link to if you're not part of it and would like to be part of it. Okie doke! US Father's Day is in June. June, there we go. It's interesting how they have like some international days it's the same for everyone, but in some other ones it's different. You were so still, I thought you froze. Maybe I did. No, I can't do it. Okay. So let's go to level 12. Let's go to level 12. Let's do it. Let's get it. Let's go. This will be cool. I love how there's that not intimate, intimate? No, intrit, no, intermittent? Intimate? No, what's the word? In the middle, no, sometimes I just forget words. I know I know the word exists, but I just transit, in transition, in transit, intrinsic, intermittent, intermiddle, no, that where it's in between two phases, in translucent, in transient, in I can't think of it. Okay, there we go. Thank you, Lynn, for that. This game easy to play. Reasonably, yeah. Oh, transition, translucent, transition, transit, no. Interphase, no, I can't think of it, it's so annoying. Okay, but this phase in between like that, where it's like clear, and then that where it's sort of zoomed out like that. And then there's this middle one, where the houses are like super pixelated like that. I love it. It's like so unclear. It's like really pixelated. It's like Minecraft. That one's like not as bad. Yeah, it's like really pixelated. There's also sort of a thing where you can see where the villages are. You can see that tiny little thing there. Boom. The shovel, which is kind of how you can see two little shovels going do-do-do. And that thing there. Boom. Intermediate, transitional. Interim, maybe. Maybe interim. I think it was interim, yeah. Interim. Yeah, I think it was interim. Intermediate, yeah. Hey, Bevan Finder, welcome to the stream. No, I know a guy called Bevan. I didn't know it was a common name. Reminds me of the word beaver. Oh, one of those. There we go. I'm real low on that. Oh! No! I've been able to make all those through for ages. Ah, that's so sad. Okay, anyway. One of them's done. Oh, yeah, I accidentally overdid it, which is a real pain. That's one thing, one glitch I think they'll need to fix. Well, the option to cancel, it's not really a glitch. Another thing is, if you start a guy on a task like this, and then he's at like 14, you can't cancel him. It's really annoying. You have to wait till he's completely done the 16, and so you might want him back for something. When's the next event? The last event was a while back. The guy's gone. Oh, it goes out of the chat as well. Oh yeah, that's right. So it's going to go through the chat, level up, and tell you through my favorite things. Okay, let's go back in the chat. Let's go way interim. Yeah, I think interim. Does anyone in the chat play Brawl Stars? Man, why am I so drained? So I think this was before the last one. 2 times yeah, and I've done all of these. All valid points. Yeah, no, it said that. 9 days. Yeah, I was amazed. That's right. You know, that was before then. Yeah, I said it's all go at the moment, all 7, because then a new. There've been 2 things happen. There'd be a new like multitask for people to like an event had come on, plus there had been the other thing, so it was like full on, which is cool. And then I said, yeah, there's error and you on 1 hour 34 minutes to complete your clay task before time. Oh yeah, another thing, one more thing. I started a clay task, right? I started the boost, a 9-hour boost, because there's a clay task left. And it's like, I wasn't full on bricks, so like, I'll just wait till we're full on bricks, then I'll grab it. And then I just started, and then I went to take it, like, 20 minutes, 40 minutes later, and I think it was Celia had taken, I was like, no! Because I just activated, and it's almost full on bricks already. I was like, no! Not bricks, on clay. It was so sad. It was like, oh! I was like wasting, like, sorry, 9 hours worth of boosts. It's like, oh, that's painful. I did the best I could to reduce its loss by putting people on making bricks and people on a person on making bricks and a person on making the clay pots, so then it was like, wasn't as bad, but still like, no, it was so sad. It was like, oh, 9 hours, and it was just sort of wasting away. It was like, oh, that was so painful. Yeah, so then this was an event, and they weren't on, so they got up, and they'd missed it, and then the whole event was ruined. We'd done 29 out of 30, no, we'd done 59 out of 60 tasks, and they forgot, and then it just cancelled on the first day, so then we didn't get to do the last 2. I was like, oh, that's so annoying. I'm sure the other members were really annoyed. But, as I said, no worries, mistakes happen. Smiley face. But yeah, it was so annoying. And then ever since, we've only ever got 30 tasks, so I don't know if that's because it was like, okay, this valley has ruined their streak of being able to complete it. They must be struggling. We'll give them a handicap, when it's not really a handicap because you just get less tasks, which in a sense it is, but it's not helpful for us because we need those tasks for the coins. Boom. Do-do. Do-do. Are you getting sleepy, Peter? Boom. Do-do. Do-do-do. Do-do-do. Okay, so, and then I said, my previous statement about the 500 brick tasks being mathematically impossible is actually wrong. When I said it took over 6 hours per 100 bricks, I must have looked at it during a time when the guy was going... That's another thing that I hope they add. So, like, when it says, like, this is going to take this long, it should have, like, a little red box around it or something to show you that there is going to be a delay in this, because you think, oh yeah, well, I'm going to be going to bed for 8 hours, so it will be fine, it's going to take 8 hours, when actually it might be because you guys ran out of food after an hour, and then it's just like for the whole thing, when actually it's only going to last 3 hours if you're properly fed, but you didn't realize that you're not properly feeding them. So my previous statement about 500 being math is wrong. When I said it took over 6 hours, I must have been looking at it during time when the guy was going to be low on food for a section of it. I can do 150 bricks per 750 minutes approximately, so I should be able to do 600 ones without potion. Oh, interesting. So I can do those ones. I'm not sure about the plank ones though. So actually, yeah, if I can do them, and my troops are less upgraded, and I've got less troops, then as the top players, then it's like, yeah, the 1,000 brick tasks back in the day were hard. I wish I'd done them. I wish I'd been as a max player before they changed the game much. But at the same time, it hasn't changed that much, really. There's not massive things. It is like, oh, you're on the forefront of things. Not really. You get to try things, but then it's sort of just real boring for them because they can't upgrade anything and do stuff with their workers much. So at the time, unless they joined another hood and got heaps of coins, so could upgrade their workers to the maximum amount. But they might already be able to do that because they've been playing so long and just had so many kills. I mean, because they're still able to do all these coin tasks, which cost thousands of coins. I'm like, wow. Don't know how they get all those coins, unless they're buying them, but yeah, I don't know. Unless they have a big storage, but it doesn't allow you to upgrade it that much. I'm not sure, because 16,000 my one, I can get one more upgrade down the line, which maybe is 20,000, so, and there's only like 30 more things after that, and most of them aren't going to be coin upgrades. Even if there's like 3 or 4 of them, it'd be like, I don't know, maybe 30,000 coins max? Maybe 40,000? I'm not sure. Anyway, 7 hours 15, so I should be able to do 600 without potions. At the time, I could only store 100 bricks when I calculated. 600 minus 150 initial. 3 at 450 divided by 3, 3.5, 22 hours to do the task. This is run a tighter schedule, as you can't afford to let him have finished and not be doing more bricks. So at least every 8 hours minimum, you'd need to be collecting bricks. I should do an Excel chart of how long. You could always, if you're starting to fail it, do the brick task, the zoom up, but you don't want to really use those unless you have to. Which, I mean, that's the best time to use them, kind of. And how tight it is, but not if you don't have those potions. Often fear doing tasks like 100,000, 200 stone. So, but then because you have to get up every 7 hours, 15 minutes to have them working maximum efficiently without wasting. And if you like forgot for like 3 hours, then it would be they would blast it because 45 minute, 45 minute, 45 minute because the 3 times those, and so that would be 3 hours. If you like 46 minutes on average, so 46 minutes on average times 3. Which we got about 2 hours 15. So if you had them accidentally idle for like 2 hours 15, like you went to sleep for 9 hours, and so then for an hour and even 8.5 hours, because then you'd lose out 1 hour and 15 minutes. Yeah, if you 8.5 hours, boom, your task has failed unless you have a potion. But if oh yeah, so I was like writing this message, and then it says, "Is anyone there?" An activity message popped up because it said, "But if I calculate how long it would take to do stone tasks, I might realize it's fine." And I actually did. The clay task 1,200 was easy enough. Another thing to note is that technically people unlock the triple potions at the same rate, like as in, because it's like, oh well, why? Because everyone always does the wood ones first. Not exactly sure why. Maybe because they don't have 3 workers and do it real fast. But whereas the other things are 2 and 2, which is interesting observation. Like Catan, it's like 4 through 3. I think it's an interesting observation. For me, it's like, oh, that actually changes how I think about things or play potentially. So, yeah. So what was I saying? So yeah, anyway, the point was that then those clay tasks would be easily able to be doing, even though you can upgrade the guys at the same rate, at the same level, because the max skill cap is the same. So you could have 2 guys upgraded to like level 7 or whatnot for the thing. So technically you should be able to do rock and the other one just as fast, unless it's slower to make them, which I've never actually thought that would be the case, but maybe it is the case. Maybe that is. Wow, that would be really interesting if that is the case. And it would be cool to see how many wood per hour. I could calculate that, actually, and then I can figure out the 10%, 20%, so I can actually figure out exactly. That would be really interesting. That would help the calculation even more. That'd be super interesting. I sort of just don't calculate how many it takes them to do per hour. I just say, okay, they do X amount in 8 hours. The full in 8 hours, and they have about 200. So I don't actually think, oh, then that would mean that they take 8 hours, 200, so then it's taking them divided by 4 equals 50 per hour. You could calculate it that way, but I sort of just think, okay, so then it will take them X amount of lots of filling it up to, so I need to get 600, so that will take them 24 hours. without actually doing the other math of how many they take to do every hour. I was thinking maths yesterday. Boom, which word? Okay, anyway. But as in, people will then have the brick tasks earlier because on the research thing, that is what they get. They get the triple that thing, whereas the triple rock one isn't even in sight yet. So people will be able to do brick tasks much easier because they get a triple potion of 150% increase on not the brick, the clay one, versus the rock one. The stone one is not till later on. So people have much stronger abilities to do clay ones because they can like double the output. 100%, 150%, so that's more than double. It's 2.5 times the output on a single guy, and they could do it with 2 of them, which would... Does that make it 5 times the output? I think it would. Oh, but then assuming that the output was... I assuming 1 guy working, but if he had 2, then if he had 2 of them, then 250 times the output, which is massively increased. So, and if you can already do it, I'm not sure if you can, I don't think you can, without potions, then with 2.5 times, you'd ace it. But as in, it's just something to keep in mind, why the brick ones would be used up much easier, and why... Yeah, other people could. Why you and other people can do brick ones much quicker and easier. So if you're really trying to maximize the fastest possible time that you do the statue, you talk to other people and say, okay, I'll specialize in doing bricks, doing clay. You specialize in rocks, etc. Otherwise, you will have all these people that are like really good at clay, but then there'll be a big bottleneck with the rock ones. I mean, you can't. I mean, the main bottleneck is with the planks and with the bricks. I mean, these are all interesting observations. I think they're interesting, and it's a whole heap of stuff to consider. They're the real bottlenecks, and you can't really fix it if your thing only holds 100 or 150 once I upgrade it. Maybe like 250 by the time it's maxed up. You can't really fix that. Although, if you are truly trying to, rather than just everyone's trying to get the best benefit for them, which still gets it done pretty fast even at that, it still works really well, but to try and absolutely maximize the highest possible, but then again, it would rely on how much time people have available, and to just do things the fastest possible time, then you'd have to have a discussion. Okay, what is my specialty? What is your specialty? What is the exact level of your troops and my troops? And how often will we be on so we'll be able to maximize and just get as many tasks done as fast as possible? So it'd be interesting to see, because there would be a mathematically fastest possible time to do to completely upgrade a statue in that. And if you had super active players that were like had super highly ideally maxed out things, then you could just... I mean, if they're maxed out, would then having a conversation actually then speed it up? Yeah, it would, because if everyone does all the wood ones first and the brick one, and then at the end there's just this massive bottleneck with all the plank ones and the brick ones. Wait, so I keep saying brick instead of clay. If everyone did all the clay ones and the wood ones and the rock ones first, then at the end there's big bottleneck of all these other ones, which always happens, like of the brick ones and the plank ones. It would have been better if one person started on those right at the start, even though it's not as much benefit for them, but then you'd get through them, so everything sort of finished all around the same time. Rather than at this point, there's just this big inefficiency where I can't even do those top ones, so I'm just sitting here and just not being able to do anything. I mean, now they're all taken, so it's fine, but yeah, so that's just something to keep in mind. Oh man, I say a lot of things about this. I talk faster than many southerners. There's so much stuff to talk about. Whoa, a lot of chat. There we go. Just noticed the VC thing. Yeah, boom, boom. Talked on it once. You Mr. Peter, you tired yet? I kind of, yeah. But I've had plenty of sleep, so it's just not used to streaming again. It's good to stream. I genuinely am enjoying the stream. I love talking about all these things that I've thought about, and hopefully it's helpful. It's sort of not the thing that any given person will actually realistically consume. Most people, like even if you are like a dedicated Valleys player, I mean, if you're that dedicated, you probably figure out most of this stuff. But as in, I don't just do a short video of like top 10 tips and just say all of these things concisely. But then again, I mean, I think there's value in explaining them thoroughly. But I have been sort of very focused on not even interacting with chat much. I mean, so focused on explaining all these different things. But I just feel like most people aren't going to sit down and watch a 1 hour. Maybe by the end of it, 1.5 hour, 2 hour, probably over 1.5 hours, it will be like a 2 hour stream. People just don't, like, after it's happened, in order to get advice, like, they're not actually that serious about the game. Which I think actually is a good thing, because you don't want people being so addicted to a game that then they're spending, like, 2 hours then watching extra streams to improve at that game. It's a general rule. There are definite exceptions in that. But, yeah. Like, people whose physical ability is much more limited, so, like, all the outdoor sport activities they could do, they can't do, and then if this was their main form of entertainment, that, yeah. I don't know. I've still long, even since I started, wrestled with the idea of with YouTubing. Like, is what I'm doing actually improving people's lives, or is it wasting their time? And I mean, the answer, I would say it's a mix. I think there's genuinely both. Some people just waste their time, and other not because it's necessarily bad tips for a game, but it's like the average person would then that person would probably get way more benefit doing many other things in life than playing a game probably excessively and then watching hours worth of streams of that game, etc. Now, assuming that the whole point that there is for the game, but then there's the whole other aspects like the community aspect in which there's good through that, etc. So it's very hard to account and calculate all this stuff. It's just something to me that I think about. I booked like a surprise super site. Boom, yes you did. There we go, would never talk again in stream. Me? Nah, the once was enough. Got all of your fun of surprising super site done that one time. Yep. He had never heard me, but I see talking slower than usual, so not really how I usually talk. Who here has Minecraft Educational Edition? I assume that's what you mean. I have played it at school. You had like 10 free times, and so there's some kids and their account had run out, and so they're like, because you each had your login and that, and which is your surname and then the first letter of your first name for most people, and then they'd have used their 10 free Minecraft Educational Edition trials, and then they'd say, someone, hey, can I please just use your account? I just like want to play, Minecraft and that, because everyone's it was funny. That was funny. That was so funny. We had some good times playing Minecraft. A little 2 weeks. You going to ask your other time, Peter? The lightning was so bright, it almost blinded me. I thought, wow. Boom. Okay, so, yeah, so that was about that. So yeah, and then I said, also regarding my leaving, and so then I said this 6 days ago. Also, regarding my leaving, I'll try to stay as long as possible. Maybe an update will come out that changes things, although I don't assume that will be for ages. I will stay as long as I can keep 6 out of 7 of my workers doing tasks, but if I had another patch of having a few of them I would be able to do something, then I'll leave. And I mean, not just like a tiny, like, oh, there's an hour of boom inactivity. It's like, if you're going on for hours, and that, it was like a day. It was like, okay, this is really wasteful now. And it's like 6 times 24 hours worth of, I wasn't 6, it was like, well, because one of them was on the research still, but if you, like, even 5 times of your work is for 24 hours, that's like 5 days worth of progress, like a given person. It's just like, it's like a whole day worth of progress lost in progressing in the game, and that's not good. But if I have another, there we go, then I'll leave. At the moment with the statue upgrade and the recent event, I was able to use them all for ages, even using potions on them, which is like, wow, you actually, that's because you want to, the event thing's kind of competitive in a sense, so in one sense I'm like, oh, Aaron and Paradise aren't contributing, in another sense I'm like, oh, and it's competitive in that, but both are true, and they're not competing at all, just not that much, which it doesn't, like, if they don't do the both things, I actually would prefer that, because I want the coins. And if people did, like, the hard tasks, that'd be good, because then the statue thing would be, like, 100, because there's, like, periods, like, where it's, like, I can't do anything, although that period is reduced as I realized, oh, I can do 900 rock tasks, or, oh, I can do 1,200 clay tasks, which means I can work for longer. There we go, now my supplies are being depleted, so it'll take a while to fully regain them. Which maybe takes like a day or so. But if I care about it, because the apples, even like from nothing to up, is only like 4 hours, and then you're full of apples again. But if I care about it again with nothing to do, then I'll go. But until then, I want to remain. It's good to be, because I thought when I was like, yeah, I was absolutely intending to go. I'm like, I almost did it last stream, and it's like, oh no, just because I wanted to research my researchers before I left, upgrade them. And then I was like, oh, there's still stuff to do, and then I was thinking, but now I've realized actually there's just enough, because I can do all these higher class tasks in the statue, which I didn't previously realize. So yeah, getting a lot done. Working hard, or hardly working. Working hard. Okay, there we go. I'm joining random streams to see who wants to play with me. There we go. Kingston Road. This one, it's interesting that you're, if it's random, because you play Brawl Stars, which is Supercell connected, and I've actually done Brawl Stars in the past, so just random on your on the screen, or just like full rando, like you search E in the search bar, and then you just go like live category. There we go. Boom. Boom. Hardly working. I didn't mean to people to think it's gonna lose views. Yeah, I get what you mean. I get what you mean, Devin. I get what you mean. Just want people to play with me. Yeah, fair. I would say there's better places to find than I mean at random streams. Like even the chances that you'll find Brawl Stars players are not that high with just random streams. But since I do Supercell related games, then that's higher chance. There'd be definite like go to the Brawl Stars Discord. You'll find heaps of people that want to play, and they'll yeah. So I'd recommend that or probably Discord because then it's instant messaging. Whereas the Reddit, you might take ages. But yeah, I wouldn't say this is. I can see what you're doing in that. I can understand it. I don't think that's the most effective way to do it, really at all. I just join the Discord server and you'll find people there. Yeah, as Lynn said, boom. There we go. Discord servers. Boom. I thought that before I read that. Boom. It's alright. No, it's all good. It's all good. All good. I can understand. I can understand. Like, did I do something? Did I do anything equivalent like that? I'm not sure. I might have. Can't remember. I like for Minecraft. I just go to the Hypixel server to find Hypixel players. Just trying to think. I feel like I have done something equivalent, but I can't remember what. Nah, anyway. Okay, boom. It's good to hear. I think we've had there we go, and then I said I think we've had a healthy balance with the strategy. We have 1 times plank, 1 times brick, 1 times coin, and 2 times stone task left. Yeah, that's quite tricky. The 1,300 stone tasks without that. And since I get unbalanced, I get heaps and heaps of acorns, which means I have heaps and heaps of clay ones. Leaves for great options for people. Clay potions that I've made up. So that because we got like a few each, which I thought was very nicely done. And there was an 800 brick task with 7 tasks underway. Yes, I currently having a go. So annoying how they do that. It just blurs out. It censors all the stuff that there's just that it's so many false sensors. A scary 1,200 stone. And if someone was swearing, people can just kick them. There you go. I mean, and yeah. And you could still have it do because there's ways you can just like we can figure out ways around trying to explain what we meant. So can other people anyway. Like you could just have that specific words like that, but I didn't even know what that was. It's even blurring here. I'm having a go at a scary 1,200 for the first time. Don't want to fail it. I can mathematically do it, but I'll have to collect the stone every 4 hour 45 minutes. Not nice unless having to set an alarm at night to do that, unless I use potions to compensate, which I did end up using a potion, and it was fine. Lol, but otherwise, if you didn't, you'd have to get up every 4 in the night to do the task, which that's commitment, that's dedication. I mean, I'd be willing to do it once in a while, but I don't want to get up every night halfway through to do a stone task in this game. I wonder if they only gave us the easy 30 times task for this event, because the next event after the one that would fail was only 30 tasks. Feel like I do most of the talking. I don't know if I appreciate, if it's appreciated or annoying. I can solve it if it's not a value, because I do heaps of chat. But I thought it was valuable. That's why I say things. But yeah, Swarren and Crypto Ghost, thank you. I'm glad that 6 venues and having a newborn. What is venues? Like a venue? Like a... What is pizza? Oh, yo, was that Australian guy? I thought he was a Prime Minister. I don't know if he was. He was maybe a reporter. Can I have a pizza that is... That's one with all... or something. It was so funny. There you go. Playing... Yeah, like venues as in like... organising events. I read that this morning that Christchurch just secured a stadium. Okay, that's the case. There's a reason my plank maker is slower when I have no one cutting wood. My max cap is 1,000 is 200 planks, but I have 270 wood. Without a woodcutter, it says it takes. With a woodcutter, it's. Oh, interesting. Or the other alternative is he would have had someone else that was using wood. Oh yeah, there we go. Possibly there is some wood usage you don't notice, like for a building, or for those wooden things, or food might dip for a period of time. For some of the time. Although it wouldn't probably be the food, because otherwise then having a worker on wouldn't solve that problem. Actually, I got, although unless he'd moved it from a task that was going to take even longer. Not sure. There we go. I got 7 boat orders done within 8 seconds of it arriving. A record for me. That's 14 taps. 1... Oh, because 7 times 2. Although actually it was 15, 16, because it was tapping on the original thing as it came. And then I tapped on it on an 8th task, and which then wasn't ready. Then I did it. So it could have been just 7 seconds, actually. Oh, that's in 16 seconds. Oh, you know, it was. So yeah, 2 taps per second. Tapping the play on arrives. I'm tired, man. I'm I'm almost finished, and having to mentally think about that fast is do which a task I can do is unable to complete of the orders. Also tapping the 8th task order. So 16 taps, not random. 2 taps per second. Oh, I actually wrote it on here. I messaged someone about it as well, then quickly snapshot. I feel like Guido from California pit stop as lightning quick at high speed. Boom, I like that reference. I'm glad he likes it. I'm glad he, yeah. That ship went quick. And yes. Which I'm not even at that level, but that's the max level. I guess I assumed that. Well, I wouldn't, yeah, yeah, there you go. By level 10 study, all unlocked, I can currently upgrade mine to level 9, which will be upgraded. I can currently do it. We'll be able, there you go, when I finish this research, I can start right now. But my is only level 6, so a bit out of sync considering I could almost get level 10 hounds. The max skill is level 6. Always assign the same village in research. Yeah, there you go, boom. Mine. Oh, it's actually then. Mycelia has got such heavy, like, I don't know, they're so heavily upgraded considering they're only level 11, like, not long ago. So it's like, how are they same level as me and they're, like, so far advanced in research? They're, like, we're really out of sync and out of whack. They must have played the game very differently. Like, I mean, they've got a heap of reputation points, but it's like, how have they got level 9 houses and like we're the same level we were, now we're about to be again, and they're like, there was a while back they upgraded, but we were the same level, so it's like, how the hang are they almost there? That's really weird. Like, we're the same level and they've got like a level 9 research already. You know, the coin shortage is again severe when 6 people online when the boat comes in. My goodness, I've never seen 6 people online. It's 60% of the valley despite different time zones. Well done on the statue we sold. I think I got all 7 tasks, all 7 taps in that time as well. Never saw. See, what even is the word? I don't even understand. So it's from ERSA. I honestly don't even know what the swear word is. Scene. ERSAWSE. It's not even a word. I do not know why they censored that. Never seen. Oh, because it was never seen. So it's ERSE. That's not even a swear word. What even is that? ERSE. ERSE. That's not even. That's so silly. That's so silly. ERSE. I'm tired. Okay, and then this person said, there we go. I felt like saying the turnaround is fast. I was like, yeah, but then there's still, it's like, true, but then there's still the thing that there's still 1 or 2 that can't be done anyway, so it makes no difference, even if we get all of, like, even if we get 99% of it done, it's not 99%, because it's 18, and, like, 100 divided, so it's, like, something, you know, like, 17 out of, even if we get 17 out of 18, I'm not sure what as a percent that is, done, it makes no difference, even if they're all done within 8 seconds, because then you just have to wait 16 hours before the other one's done. There you go. So, and then I see it 5 hours ago. I'm managing to get just enough coins. I was thinking of saying this yesterday. I figured out that there's... I'm just tired, man. I figured out that I'm able to do harder tasks that I previously thought So now I have a good cycle of using my workers most of the time for the statue, and then the last day when there are really hard tasks left, like 600 bricks, I use my workers to replenish my supplies, and this was this morning, I must have said that, and at about this time, I've done that. The next statue event starts, and at about the time I've done that, yeah, so when they're almost full again, then the next statue one starts. I have to explain what I'm explaining. There you go. I've just gained my 8th work yesterday. Things are looking good. I'm currently receiving just enough coins, and that's partly because I've got a lot of the boats recently, which other people will be feeling that. They'll be like, oh, there's no coins. What was I gonna say? What am I gonna do? Okay, there we go. Let's read the chat. Pardon me. Oh, there we go. Oh, not shit at all. Jessa101, welcome. You nice to us up. Thank you. Boom. Lots of emojis. Venues place with events. Yeah, that's what I thought. Might be a swear word in another language. Oh, right. That's... I mean, even if it's in Italian or whatnot, the vast majority, 90% plus. In this case, it's not even released in Italy, so probably 99% plus. Although there'd be some multi-bilingual people. They wouldn't even know. I don't know. It's just, yeah. I don't know, because otherwise it's just it's like the tiny, the infinitesimally small risk that one of these players will use an Italian swear word versus the annoyance of having on a regular basis your message is screwed up because it's just got all because like just random words are just continue, like it's happened not that infrequently. One, and then I maybe tried to I'm not sure if I said it, so 2, 3, I thought I was going to look back and be like, actually there's hardly any times. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times since, yeah, 8, that's like since 12 days ago. Yeah, 8 times, yeah, so it's like every second day it's happening. So it's just, yeah, I just think, nah, just don't even waste your time trying to censor Italian swear words. Just, I mean, most people, the vast majority, even those that do speak Italian, aren't going to be swearing it. Maybe not. I don't think the majority of people speaking Italian are going to be swearing in Italian. Yeah, I don't know, it's just, yeah. Anyway, and even if you are not Italian, which most people are, they won't even know what it means. Like, there we go, I have it up, I wasn't looking. That's okay whenever assuming it. Try to slightly ahead. Dynamic duo. Boom. Okay. I'll do that. I'll just tell them actually, currently live streaming. Currently live streaming. My name is Supersign. Streaming on many different platforms at once. YouTube, YT, some of them might not understand it's what it's short for. Twitch, Trovo, DLive, Freaker TV, Mob Crush. We've done DLive, Nemo TV. Nemo TV. Anime TV. Nemo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I thought it was 9. Oh, 7's not that good. Considering Mob Crush is... I don't even know if it works. It's a Freakish TV, sometimes it doesn't work, so they'll make it 5. If I get banned off YouTube again, they'll make it 4. And who knows how long Trovo and D-Live will last. And Nemo TV will last. Anyway. Feel free to say hi. Oh! So annoying! It's like there's such a massive part of the message. Well, it's not the word streaming, the word online. No, what? Live streaming. Oh, that's so annoying. Oh, yeah, that's right. I've done that before. Feel free to say hi. It's so, I don't know, it's such a, I don't know, cringe. I don't know, like people just like, say hi to YouTube. It's funny. It's funny. It's funny. But like anyone can just do a video and be on YouTube, but yeah. Streaming live. Oh, maybe it's live streaming. Working hard or hardly working? What? What? Live streaming, the whole thing, every letter of the thing is blurred. But streaming, like, and it doesn't even have to blur, because some of them only partly blurs the word. That's crazy. Like, maybe bots say, oh, live streaming and it's a scam, but there'd be, surely not. When you can do streaming live, oh, that's so silly. Going to get ready for bed. I'm feeling like this stream is getting near its end. I think it's been a good stream, but I'm tired, man. It's only been an hour and a half. Like, just, I don't know, worn out is more weird. It's annoying that I've done that. And that slowly. The events come and go, so it doesn't actually show up in chat. Okay. Oh, but you would have been able to see based on when I said, oh, the new event, when it was going to happen. Okay, so my theory, live streaming is not allowed. Yeah, that's weird. My theory for the best things that you can research in them, due to the limited amount of coins, because you could research all of them and everything that would cost. I'm not sure how many. I'm not sure how many I calculated. It was over 1 million coins, so which is a hang of a lot, considering you only get not that many. So currently you have 8. Now this is assuming that you have the maximum of 10. Now my theory as to the perfect amount, what you want to research them in. And now, ideally everything, but if you have to pick one thing, this is what I would suggest. I would suggest that you, and there's going to be a couple of exceptions where you can like pick 2 things for a couple of them. But okay, so you have one of them and research. So that's their sole field, research. Just put them on level 10 if you can. So this is assuming level 10, and you've got all 10 workers, and you can max out all them 10. So you have one of them on 10 research, because it's such a bottleneck. So you want to be full blasting through that. You want to have one of them on maximum food, so he's just really holding them, just boosting it with the food. So yeah, so you want one of them on maximum on research, one of them maximum on food, one of them maximum on buildings, because you're always going to have someone on research 100% of the time. You're always going to have someone on food 100% of the time. Now, I mean, there'd be extremely rare cases where you had all 10 of them on non-food things, so they're all doing stuff in that, but this is very unlikely. And at this point in the game, that could change. This is assuming the game as it currently stands. Pardon me. So one of them fully on research, one of them fully on food, and one of them fully on building, because there is a lot of building to do. And so, like, just when I get that research thing, that will be 8 instant upgrades right then, but it'll actually be more like 10 in the long run. So, because I mean, just the houses, maxing them from 1 to 10, that's 100 upgrades worth. So, although technically you hit patches of not building, the most of the time you should be building. So you want one of the maximum building, one of the maximum research, one of the maximum food. So that's boom, boom, boom. You also want one of the maximum on bricks, one of the maximum wood, and one of them, not bricks, sorry, on clay, one of the maximum on stone, one of the maximum on wood, because you always want to be able to get those supplies back up as fast as possible, so that's super efficient, which is what I've currently got. And then you want to have And then also with those tasks, those specialty tasks like for the statue, you want to be able to do them as fast as possible. So that's 7 of them, because you have of the because the goal really is to maximize efficiency. Now you can't maximize efficiency on making bricks or making the apples or making. There's only 6 things that you can actually do it on, which I find really interesting. And with the research one, you only need one person actually researching. So and you want to be maxing them out in skills for sure, but it actually makes it easy because you haven't got many options. I think in the future they'll add more things, which will make it much more confusing as to which is the best one, because they'll add in like you can research bricks faster and planks faster, and be like, oh, now it's really hard. But with 6 of them, it's super easy because, well, it's not that many choices, because with the research, we can only have one person researching at a time, so you only need one person maxed out in research. Yes, there's slight delays when you have them, like when you upgrade them, but really that's not that much time. Like a maximum of, you can calculate, like just to get them to level 5 is only 27 hours, which is nothing in the long scheme of it, and that's like huge amount of the way up. If you add in, then that does add up a while, but then it's not 0 if you have it, because it's only, because it's not, yeah, so if it's like going from, let's say, level 7 to level 8 to level 9, you're just like half as efficient for like a few days out of the ages that you'll play the game. And it's just, I don't think it's really worth it upgrading 2 of them way up to that, even though one of them you're only going to use for a very short amount of time, a maximum time of 1, 2, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, 6 days, 6 days and 3 hours, a maximum of 6 days and 6 days and 3 hours, which, and to do that will cost you, I think, 55,000, is it? 19,000, 27,000, 34,000, 40,000, 45,000, 49,000, 52,000, 54,000. Yeah, 55,000 coins just to be able to save 6 days and 3 hours worth of saving or boosting or whatnot. Which I think is just not worth it. It's just considering the amount of time that you'll be playing the game. And the thing is, when you even like you have a guy on there anyway, so it's only it's not like you have nothing on that for 6 days. It will just be slightly more inefficient, like with the 40% thing, because most of those upgrades, which are all equal upgrades, are hardly anything. Like up until level 8, it's not even 1 day, and up until level 5, it's like 8 hours, which is nothing really. It's really nothing considering the amount of potions you use that double it by 100%. It's just like having one less of those potions up to level 5 anyway, so it's really not that worth it. Now, you could say, oh, well, how about the first upgrades are so cheap, that, and then they save you 10% of time. You could make the argument, and that's what I kind of did. I upgraded a large to level 1, because it's the same, like, the same massive 10% increase for the coins are hugely increasing, like 10,000 coins for, and having that guy out of work, yeah, it's another factor, having the guy out of work for over a day, and it gives you 10% bonus. I think that's so not worth it, considering how rare coins are. If you had unlimited supply, then it's like, yeah, sure. But without limited supply, then you have to really limit your coins. So you could upgrade it to, like, let's say 5 maybe, because it's like not that many coins, because it's like 1,000. Yeah, and it's the same increased rate of efficiency. So it's like 1,000, 1,000, 1,000. Oh, is that true for the whole way? Oh, it actually is true for the whole way. Oh, no. It's no, because it costs 1,000, then it costs 2,000, then 3,000. So it's costing 1,000 coins extra per 10% for every additional upgrade. So you could upgrade it to invest, like, I'm not sure how much. And early in the game, though, you wouldn't want to be upgrading 2 of them in research, because your coins would be even more limited. So you'd have upgraded the person and missed out on those. Oh, but there's not much to miss out on by the time. It's less than a day just before that level 5. Okay. Super site. What is the little bouncing building? Ah, yes, I'm going to open that. It's a rock storage. So I've finished upgrading it, so then I get it, and then I get an XP from it. So yeah, you could make the argument, but really I don't think at this point in the game, with this kind of game where there's so few coins, that it's not really worth it to get a second guy involved in. For 1,000 coins, I reckon, sure, it's like not much, and 10% bonus for those few days that they'll be off. And even I'd consider upgrading them to level 2 or 3, but definitely not to level 8, 9, or 10. That's massive cost for very minimal. Even 6,000 coins, I don't think is worth it. A very minimal saving, because at maximum you'll lose less than a week in the entire time. So I just think, no, that's not worth upgrading. So then you're like, okay, so we've got 10 guys to divide between 6 skills, because you might as well max them all out in a skill, if you can, anyway. So, okay, then you've used up 1 on that one there, and then I'd say that you don't need any more after that. So then you've got 9 guys left, and you've got only 5 options left, which is good, because we don't want to make it any more complicated than necessary. So at minimal, we want 1 on lumber, 1 on brick, 1 on rock. So boom, boom, boom. So then you're down to having, I mean, because no, actually, so we'll just go back to having 9 between these other 5. Now, 100% you want 1 guy on a farmer's guild, because you're always going to need food, so boom, absolutely. Now you're down to 8. Now, you definitely want 1 on building, because you do a hang of a lot of building over the course of the game, so you definitely want a guy that's maxed out in building. So boom, you do that. Now you're left with, if assuming you just do 1 for each of those 3, then you're left with 7 guys between those 3 remaining skills, one of which you absolutely want to point to each of them. Now, in terms of doing that, because you want to be, in my view, maxing out those tasks as fast as possible for the statue. You want to just absolutely acing it in that. And the maximum possible efficiency you can get is having 2 guys that are fully maxed with rock. There's 2 rocks, so if you have 2 guys maxed in rock, that's the fastest you can possibly do it, excluding potions and that. So I would say, and that's the perfect amount left. You got 7 guys left, and you got the 3 things. So I'd say put 3 guys on wood, 2 guys on rock, and 2 guys on brick. And so therefore, on clay, I mean. So therefore, you can absolutely maximize any of those tasks. So you can just go boom, 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 boom. Just absolutely full out. So I normally, as I currently have it, I have 1 guy that's Levette for the lumber, and Carolina for the clay, and Mountainous Mike for the rock. So I can always just get my undepleted supply, max it back up all the time, because it's always going down for various things that I'm using to build and whatnot. So it's really good to have 1, because that just saves time. So at minimum, you absolutely want 1 on all 3 of those things. And it's super helpful and saves you so much time, rather than a guy doing it at just default. You might as well do it at 50% faster. So those things, yeah. So I mean, even just up to 6 workers, you want to have 1 of them on each of those things. That's really helpful in that. Now, the one thing that I'd sort of, bathroom break. Okay. So yeah, so then I'd say 3 guys on lumber, 2 guys on, because you have the 3 lumber spots, so you can do the lumber task so quickly. If you had 3 of them maxed out at 100%, you would ace it. It would just come in and be like, it'd be Luigi in the pit stop. It'd just like here's the task, like, and he's like wood, like, and then it'd be like, and just done like that. Not quite that fast. It would still take over an hour, I reckon, but it would be pretty quick. I mean, yeah, you'd have to go on regularly, because they'd max out the thing so quick. They'd be like boom to 10, boom to 10. Although it will be higher, because I've had at least 1 more wood upgrade, so it might be like 300. It's like boom, boom, boom. So that would be my suggestion. The one but most of the time you wouldn't be using that, because you'd often have maximum wood, or maximum clay, or maximum rock. So I'd say, and most of the time, so you won't actually use them. But since the vast majority of tasks they do, other than those specific tasks, which they can, because these skills only apply to these tasks, and only one of them's doing research anyway. So all these skills don't even apply most of the time, because if you're full on rock, then the 2 guys that are maxed in rock, or 1 guy that maxed in rock, that's 0 ability helping with any other task. It only helps for that specific task, and so you yes, they're raw resources in that, but as soon as you max out, then they're useless anyway. And yeah, the research, you just have the 1 person doing that anyway, and then the building guy, you're just building away. So the building one, I'd say, yeah, is used most of the time in that. And so yeah, 100% of the time for the research one, 100% of the time for that one. The builder most of the time is in use. Yeah. Okay, there we go. So they gave us a second sugar mill. Oh, no way! No way! Oh, that's some of the funniest news I've heard in ages. That is awesome. That is awesome. There's just post upon post upon post upon the forums and that. I think there was even, didn't Nick say that was ruled out? There's like a list of things he said were ruled out. Like, this was a long time ago. It was always like, there will be no second sugar mill, there will be no, and there's a few things he ruled out, and I thought that was one of them. That's good banter, man. That's so funny. So it's like in Heyday, keeps the dairy and sugar mills going. What's Heyday? I don't remember that game. What keeps the dairy and sugar mills going? How's that related? That's so funny though that they gave you a second sugar mill. That's funny. Okay, I can't believe they actually did. That's funny. I said, does Ricky have the fifth smelter yet? I don't know. There's a lot of things that shock me, like watching other streamers and whoa, you do that. But like one of the craziest things was when I saw it's like, no way, he's like level 100 and something, and he hasn't got the fifth smelter. Like what? I think it's so fun. If that's still the case, we're like, that's insane. Because like I don't know, I didn't have millions of coins, but it's like it's so cheap, and how you always, it's just so much reason to use it. Oh yeah, it's sort of was like, this game is a little bit like Heyday. It sort of like reminds, oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, you'd produce products in Heyday and you keep them all going, and yeah, I guess it's a similar kind of technique to this game. It is, and then you get certain ones that then make that, so you need resources and that, and yeah, it's like, I remember that game. I was like, good at producing stuff. Did you max out? Oh, no, you had a barn. That's right, so you had no given limit on any given product other than the barn limit, and you could do 100% of that one. That's kind of cool. And then there was like, yeah, so you could just keep doing it. Whereas in this one, it's limited of each of them. Yeah, so you just always making products. Wow. Are you talking about keeping workers going size? Oh, right, keeping workers, as in keeping the things going. Yeah, yes. Always good to keep all your machines going, getting them back in action, as I used to say. Man, oh, I remember Heyday. Ah, I would love to, yeah. It just, in my view, just wasn't going anywhere. The coin's been useless, and I could just make millions and millions and millions and millions of coins, and it's just pointless. Like, I just sort of realized the only way to really progress was to pay money, to actually at a reasonable rate, because you just had this barn that you couldn't really upgrade, because you had millions of coins, and you couldn't use them to upgrade to get the planks that you need to upgrade your barn. So I was like, well, this is useless, because then coins are so inflated. You can have millions of coins. I can get 10 million plus coins. I think I got to like 4 million or whatnot. And they're just utterly useless. So it's not progress if you can't even use it. So then it's like, ultimately you just have to spend real money to get the diamonds. Because the hard currency, in order to actually upgrade, get the hard stuff. Whereas in the Heyday, yeah, it's just, you just couldn't with the coins. And so I was like, as soon as I realized coins are basically useless, then I sort of just I just lost hope in the game. And then it's just all these updates. I haven't liked the updates for ages. All the stuff about the valley, I never really liked the valley. It was just like, oh, it's cool, it's alright, let's try it out. And it was like, nah, this is not that cool. But yeah. And that's like what all the heaps of the updates, if not all of them up until when I last checked, were all about the valley, some sort of stuff about the valley. It's like, oh, I feel like it's just been in the wrong course for the last 2 years. So yeah, this fifth smelter. Hey, VelKP, yo! I forgot you played Heyday. Battlelands player, welcome. Fifth smelt, that was just like, I love how you just came in and just like, the fifth smelt, like perfect, like just, I love that, how that statement. The smelter's early, they're going non-stop. Get up to 8 million, I use some on make. True. But then is I don't really care about the decoration. Like, sure, I'll get one Maggie design that I like, and then it's like, okay, there's no point just spending millions buying all these things that just add to my collection, sure, but yeah. I mean, kind of. I mean, sure, I could see myself deciding that as a task and going for it, but yeah. Yeah, we have almost gone 2 hours. So yeah, so you have the one on that, and then so the other one, so you can do those tasks as fast as possible as soon as they come. So you can just go boom, 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 super maximum efficiency. Now the one thing that I would, what just went wrong? Oh, that. Yeah, the one thing that I would say potentially is actually, because you're not going to have all 10 in your village at any given time. You normally have, because most of the time you won't have both rock guys or both clay guys or both wood guys working. Those 3 will never be on. Sometimes all 6 of those won't be. No, 7 of them won't be on those tasks, because you would have maximum of those things, and you need to get a whole heap of wool. So you put 3 of them on the wool and 2 of them on the. And yeah, 3 of them on wool, 3 of them on indigo, and 1 of them on wheat, for example. So you'd have none of them doing that, but most of the time you would. Now, the one other thing that then I'd say is what I would do is I'd then double research a couple of them. So one thing that you want more of is, so you only need 1 researcher really, and the building one maybe, depending on the balance of the game, which I'm not entirely sure, you might end up needing 2 guys, but I don't think so. At the moment I've been able to do it. The coin limit is so severe. I think when the game changes, then maybe you will want a second builder in that. So what I'd do is, ideally, I'd then double skill, and this is assuming double skill, so, because maybe, potentially, rather than, so if you could only 1 skill each of them, which you can do more than skill, but it costs a lot, is I'd only have 2 woodworkers, and then I'd put So rather than having a third woodworker, person that is specialized in wood, I'd actually switch it to wheat. So then I had 2 guys that were full-time workers, because I think you're actually going to start needing that at this point in the game, which is a shame. It's super inefficient. Because up until 7, I was managing fine. I was managing with only 1 guy on food. Because I'd have them out doing tasks over like here, and in the real busy times, I'd just chuck on a potion for the food, and then it was fine. But those last 3, adding those 3 more guys will probably there'll be times where you do need 2 guys. I'm never going to put 3 guys on food. Maybe there'll be rare times where I do, but I really don't want to. That's super inefficient. So 2 guys. So actually, it's a bit rather that. So if I had to make it, yeah, probably realistically, if I had to do it, I would, rather than having 3 wood guys, I'd have 2 wood guys and 2 guys on the food, because I think you're just going to need that extra food. But ideally, what you do is you double side that person. So you double side. You double research each of them. So you like one of the 3 of those woodcutters, you then have fully maxed out in wood and in wheat, so you can alternate them. The same is true with one of the clay diggers and with one of the rock diggers. So the other 3 that you double up, because you'll always need at least one of the guys on that. So there's no need to, or no point doubling them up. This is like Liam. I'm never going to use him for anything else, so always going to have him on that. And same with the builder. So I think mostly with the builder. I'd think, because potentially you could have 2 builders, but I don't think, maybe later in the game it becomes the case, but it doesn't seem so. So you have 1 on each of those always, so you don't need to double skill them. And not always, but often you will have at least 1 on wood, 1 on clay, and 1 on stone, and therefore I'd say that you should. And then there's no point having 3 on clay and 3 on that. That's sort of the maximum limit. So then I'd say that with the so you have 2 of each of them, but a double side at least. So a double side, absolutely a woodcutter with the wheat, and because the wheat you might need, and also a double sided clay with the wheat, and double side a rock man with the wheat. So there'd be 3 of them. So yeah, so you'd have 3 of the. So you'd have 1 of them for that, 1 for researchers, 1 for builders, 1 solely done in farmers, and then I'd have 1 that was doubled up in wood and wheat, 1 that was doubled up in clay and wheat, and 1 that's doubled in stonemason and wheat. The reason why I say that is because sometimes you'd be doing a wood task, and the event will also be for clay, so you want to have all of them on, so then you could flip that one, the stonemason's guy. And sometimes it will be those 2, so then you can flip the woodcutters guy onto the thing, but you don't know which one, so you couldn't just do a woodcutters one in case it's then a woodcutters event, because then you can't, even though you have 2 clay diggers and 2 stonemasons, it's inefficient to use it. So I would say, yeah, so that my final say would be, yeah, so if you could then double skill 3 of them, I'd say have 1 on there, 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 so that's 6 of them, and then a second one of the woodcutters, and then double skill a woodcutter, a clay digger, and a stonemason in wheat, so that you can then put whichever one is needed, alternate them onto the second one, so you have second worker on the wheat. Although if there's that much, then, because you'd always have the researcher, then possibly you would need a third worker on the food, because you'd have 1, 2, 3 of them going and 1, 2 of them going, so there'd be 5, there'd be 6 going like that, so then you'd have 2 wheats, and then I guess maybe if you wouldn't have the building going, if you did though, that would be pretty full on, so then maybe you could then use the second stonemason, but that would assume that you have to double up both of them, which would then cost a heap. So yeah, my suggestion for what to research, have 1 of them maxed out on researchers, 1 of them maxed out on builders, 2 of them on stonemasons, 2 of them on clay, 2 of them on wood, and 2 of them on farmers, and have 1 of those farmers ones also researched in wood if possible. So yeah, so then that would be the default. So you'd have 2, 2, 2, 2, 1, 1, and then if you have enough coins to double research, do the research guy, 1 of them in wood, and then do 1 of these in wheat, and 1 of these in wheat. By wheat I mean farmers. So yeah. So then I hope that's clear. So 2, 2, 2, 2, 1, 1. And then if you have enough coins for a double one, which you wouldn't need to get them to 10 before you start doing it, because it's cheaper to do it at 5, so you could add, like, to the point of 5, start doing it this way anyway. And then if you had enough coins, then make 1 of the wheat ones able to do wood cutting, then make 1 of the rock ones able to do farmers, and then make 1 of the clay ones able to do farmers. And I think that would mostly make it fine, and then possibly you could then have, if the building picks up, you could have the second woodcutter as able to do wood cutting. And I think that would basically mean that you're using all your skills all of the time to the maximum possible extent, because that's what you want it to do. You want to make it that you could, yeah, because you want to be able to do these tasks as fast as possible, which means maximizing your, always having the maximum possible workers able to do the task. So basically you just don't want to be wasting skills. So you don't want it to be that you need, like, to do a clay task and you've only got one skilled guy, when it's like, it would be way more efficient if you had two of them. So you want to make it that you've got your bases covered, so you're using all of them, or as much as you can, which won't be all the time, because otherwise you won't need any clay, so then the two that is researched in clay will just be sitting there. But you can't prevent that. That just, if there's not demand for clay, it's fine. But yeah, that you want to have it so you're not wasting away, you're not missing out on stuff, which means that you would want 3 done in the woodcutters, because then when the woodcutter, when you have wood tasks, you want to have all 3 guys that are max in woodcutting working on it, if possible, in that. But you also, yeah, you will need a bit more food later in the game, which I'm not sure exactly how much, depending on how often. And so that's right. The alternate ones can then go on to that if possible, so you can still have maximum clay and woodcutting capacity, or maximum stone masters and clay. And then maybe if there's too many buildings in the future, that's why I say potentially you'd want a second one, which then you do the woodcutters, because it has the dynamic of having 3. So then the stonemason, you'd have one clay guy, one stonemason, and one woodcutter that just are solely specialized in that one thing. So yeah, that is because it's keeping coins in mind, because otherwise they just say, well, you can research all of them to maximum extent, but that's not even, there's no point. There's absolutely no point. Like, there's no point researching 10 researchers to maximum level 10 in research. There's no point researching more than 2 to more than 2 in researching in that. So that's why I have one primary woodcutter, like Levette, one primary I sort of just did Elijah as a multitasker, although I didn't actually need to do it in the way that I've done it. So he's then maxed in that. I kind of wish that I hadn't done him like this. But then again, at this point in the game, it actually makes sense, because it's only 1,000, so I can do it. But then in the long run, I could have just had it that I had the perfect amount and none of them were researching anything other than they need to be. But then again, eventually if I had enough coins, then I could just max them all out in case the game... I'm not sure. I don't think there will be actually more purpose to do that, unless they added like another clay thing. I mean, technically, actually, assuming that you use the stuff in your village, you could have a 3rd clay guy, but I'm not assuming that. I'm assuming you just use the clay things. Okay, and then I've got the one guy specialized in that. I've got the one guy specialized in that. Just him, actually. And then one in that. And then one in that. So Elijah's got a level 1 on all of them, except for building. Yeah, and so then I'll just specialize them up. So that's my theory. That's my theory in order to maximize all the works and have as many as... So you're never wasting... You're never missing skills. So if you had the skills, you'd then be doing it more efficiently. So that's my wee theory for you. That's my wee theory. Boom. Okay, so yeah, and that's what I'm going to do. Unless the game changes, that's my plan as to what I'm going to do. And hopefully then be the maximum efficiency, so I'm never missing out on the use of a skill that I could have. So that's why I'll do... At the moment I only have 8, but when I have the coins too, I'll try and train up 10 of them in that thing, with 1 of them for research, 1 of them for building, 2 of them for clay, 2 of them for rock, 2 of them for wood, and then 1 of them, and then 2 of them for food, and hopefully 1 of those ones for food is also done in the wood, so then it can be maximum on wood as well. In order to maximize your skills, you need 2 for those things and 3 for that, so yeah. It's an easy choice. It's reasonably easy, because you only have only 6 options, and one of them, I'd just say just put 1 on there, and the wood one maybe it will just be 1, in which case you have 4 options between 8 workers, and it makes sense to put 2 on there, 2 on there, at least 1 on there, and ideally 3 on there, at least 2 on that one though, and then the other one can be a multi between those 2, and then ideally you have those 2 can alternate between the wheat things, so then you can stay on the wood cutting if you have a wood cutting task. And a brick task, like when you have another thing like the event on. Yeah, there it is. How close to 12? This is how close. This is how close I am to level 12. Are you ready for it? Here's the answer. I'm going to tap that bouncing prison, and you'll figure out what it's there for. Boom! Boom! Level 12. Let's go. We just made it to level 12. We just got a letter. I should put that as the thumbnail versus my default one that doesn't actually look very impressive. There we go. We were one away. So we were 23 out of 24, and tapping that present, which I saved for the stream, was enough to boost us over the edge. So we are now that level 12. So now everyone in the valley is level 12 or above. There's 2 12s, 2 13s, 3 14s, 3 15s. Boom. That was sneaky. Very sneaky. Boom. And so that was my, explanation as to my theory as to what things are the best ones to get. Hayden's gone down a disappointing path. Boom. There we go. It's nice to see you agree. I'm content to doodle along Heyday. Oh, there we go. But mainly because my kids to play it. It is only Supercell I really play anymore. I remember Clash. I stopped playing that at the end of last year. But even in 2020, I hadn't played it much. You know what happened to Cressy? I haven't heard from him in a long time. Got bogged down with heavy school. Haven't heard from him for 3 weeks, so close to it. It's sort of crazy, like, being a YouTuber in school. Man, in the past, I was so on fire for the games, man. Like, Clash Quest and Heyday with the updates. And now I'm just sort of like, every once in a while, hey guys, let's do a stream. But it's like so inconsistent and so not long compared to what it used to be, and just not the same at all. It's just not like not popular games that it's like whoa, and we've got lots watching. But it's actually nice without many watching actually. But in terms of like long-term sustainable income, which is I mean at this point I don't even expect that. It's just stream. It's just nice to stream in that with sort of like getting a record of content up on it, and if people want to watch it and ask questions about it, then feel free. Suicide Theory, boom. Boom. Real life is important, indeed. Boom. Oh, we get a reward. We're getting next to saving up. Wait, is that capped? Were we at 40 before? If we didn't get anything, I'll be so like, what? How long has this happened? Oh no, we did. Trying to get to 1,000. Send notification on Trovo. Boom. We got 2 watching. Oh, that will be myself and Lynn. Lynn, myself, and I. Okay, there we go. Boom. Dude, there it goes. So, we got that. Yeah, so we're level 12 now. How much is it? 24? Okay, still 24, not 27. Which I'll actually be able to get pretty reasonably because we get like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, plus 8, 22, 23, 24. Boom. So by that point, we will be able to max out, get to the next level, which will take us to level 13. And then we have to, then that will be, only 1 towards the next one. And then somehow we have to, through these upgrades, which isn't that many, these things. Just a couple of them, 2 of them, 2 of them are new houses, which means that then, 2 of them are new houses and 2 of them are upgrades of 2 houses in there, so that's another 20 worth of stuff. But yeah, so we will be able to, I reckon before the next update, but also maybe not. So there we go, we are now level 20 in here as well, at level 12. With 15 being the maximum level, of which only 3 people have reached it. So, yeah, I hope to whiz past Erin and Paradise in reputation points. I think it will look impressive. And if I ever do start my own hood or am in my own one, then it will be good. I'll be higher than people that currently I'm not on a leaderboard with. It'd be kind of cool if they had it would be cool if they had a leaderboard of all the, well, even just the top 100 highest players with these points or level, and then it just sort of fill up with 15 players. But it'd be interesting to know how many are there. But that would be cool. I mean, because they could do it based on the exact point value that you're at. So, in this case, I'd be like at level 12 with, and so then it would be 12.1 or whatnot, all the way up to, or they'd like, you know, so like 1, 2, 3, 4, so 24 worth in progress-wise, so then it would be variant on 15. They could even put like they could put like 12-0, kind of like in Clash Quest. We could have like 12-7 if you're there, so then the higher ones rank up. So you see that. So that'd be cool if they did that, I reckon. Yeah, I think that's basically it. I don't know how this one works. The 47-11. I don't know how that works. And then these are the top ones, which Pure Dot is second, and Onyx Chiefs are third. Evergreen is fourth. And then Mount Vale is less than that, but higher than that. Yeah. Versus the Sitter one. Almost. Oh, that's still way off. Man, we're going to be out of those things. Boom, boom, boom. We need to put the guy on that, which will then use up some wheat, which is not a good, not a bad thing, because we've got excess wheat there. So they'll be going along. So then the build guy will be done. Boom. Because I could use up the wheat thing. I mean, use up that. But we actually haven't got that many. We got quite a lot of wood ones. The rock. It depends on the ingredients, which is part of the problem. Although I could start getting not that. Like these. I don't want to do ones. They're really inefficient. But these ones, yeah, as soon as I get them, that would be maybe helpful. But yeah, so the rock one's still miles off. Like, it's still in those top 3 slots. It'll be ages before I can get the rock one. It's the clay one I got a while back. But yeah, it's the ingredients thing. Because like, the research, in my view, is the most important one. So you want to be using those ingredients to make that one, which is mainly that. So you don't really use the mandrakes for anything else. Or you can, like, a little bit. Like, that, you can use up a few. But that's the primary one. And then in terms of acorns, you don't want to use them in an inefficient way. So you want to use those clover things for this, and you want to use that for that. And so I use that for that, and if I have a moss, I create that one there. The black ones I haven't actually run out of yet, but I might start running into issues. Because it's not really used that much. Like these, any of those, none of those ones use it. And then if I'm trying to create mainly those ones with my things, I'm not actually using much at all, because then I'll never create those two. So I'll only ever create the top. Yeah, it's kind of like a pattern. I just see it now. It's like, doot. No, it's like doot, doot, doot. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are the only ones I ever use, that I ever make. And so, but then they don't use up the black feathers fast. Yeah, I don't know. That would be a real problem if I can't use that up fast enough. I seem to be just managing, because it uses up. Oh no, because those ones use the clams up instead. So only those 3 use those things up. And I don't make. Yeah, and this is why I don't make this one much, because it requires. Oh no, actually I should start using that, making that one more. It's because it requires the acorn, so that one's more, this one's more efficient with it. And also that uses mandrake, but actually that uses 2 of those, which is going to be more problematic than using... Oh, yeah, no, because, yeah, I need heaps of the mandrakes. But they use up 2 of those things, so both of them drop it down. But I definitely don't want to do that one anymore, because it uses up so many of those things. Which I need for the research season one is the one. I really want to unlock that. That would be so helpful. But it's going to take a while to get to. We're about to get the 3rd one. Oh, that will be helpful, actually. Because that will use up... Oh, no, but then it'll make clams again. Ah, that'll be annoying. Because, yeah, if all of these ones don't use the black feathers, then you'll have to be forced to make inefficient ones. That will be super annoying. I could make those. Yeah, actually, I could make those too, which I sort of... I don't really want to research them, because I've got so many other important things. But if I then have all the black feathers... I mean, I guess actually I can still collect it, even if it was maxed out. Because I could do that, 5,000. Because when did we get the triple... The triple... That must have been ages ago. 1, 2... 2. Wait, surely it wasn't... No, I can't mean... Where is it? 3, there. Which was a wee while back. See, this one here is there. Which is going to take a while to boom, boom. I don't think we can research into that territory yet. Oh, we can research that one. I think maybe if we research that one, then it will allow me... Oh, now we can upgrade it. Okay, we couldn't before. So as soon as I finish that... How much... Oh, that's will be interesting. 16,000. So we first need to research the treasury upgrade, which is that one. And then we can upgrade it. That's real that's so many of those things. Because these things here are a real pain to upgrade. Because it's like these... Because it's not just like a raw resource like wood and you can have 3 guys getting it. It's like this really slow process. Which I've currently got both of them on, but it takes a long time to get through them. So people must be using them to upgrade their buildings, and then they're needed for those husks, because the level 15 players shouldn't have that issue. Yeah, I want to put someone on that. Maybe the builder guy after he's done with that. But yeah, because I really want to see. I want to get as much intel as I can. I wanted to know what ingredients these things cost before they change it. But getting that 3rd one will be the vast majority, and there will only be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 left, and I can probably just about figure out what most of them are, because at the moment I can already figure out, I think, like because 2 of them will be... That 1, 2, 3 of them are those things, and then 1, 2 of them are new houses out of currently these ones here. But if none of those were in that one, then I know within those 5, at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them are those things. And then I'll be able to almost figure out what the final things are. I think products, we've unlocked all the products. I think they all show up now. Yeah. But I think it'll be mainly upgrades. It'll be mainly upgrades of like sawmills or whatnot. Oh, my voice is like, man, it's 5 PM. Wow, this has been a long stream. Well, it's only 2 hours, so not really that long. But yeah, I really do enjoy this game. It's very interesting. And yeah, this is the situation I currently have. I've kept the roofs the same color. I haven't really modified my base much at all. I really need to modify it enough to actually place this in. Not that I'd use it, I don't intend to. Maybe that's a good sign. No, I'm never going to use that. Because you can't upgrade the fields anyway, so yeah, you'd only just be added in. So maybe I just won't use it, because I don't intend to use it. And if I haven't even planted it, how can you use it? Okay, we will... Oh, yeah, we should get 5 more of them before we do that. I'll probably forget. I sometimes forget them, because I don't want to collect them when I could just make some first, because I like to store over the amount, because otherwise you end up having your workers out of work anyway. On Trovo. Boom. And I think that's going to wrap it up. There we go. Now let's talk about honey. So, as you knew from the honey, which looked as it is, that you can see right there, it is now almost ready and ready to be completed. And once that is finished going around, once that light blue circle is finally completed, it will then show up as ×1, like we saw before. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and so some of these have started respawning. Not that many yet. We did a big collection of them before the stream this morning. What those tasks, then there should be an event coming up soon. I'm glad I streamed. It's good. A heavy amount of stuff I said this stream. Huge amount of realizations and information. Yeah, so then next, I think surely I'll eventually run out and it'll be like, okay, there's not really much. I've upgraded this, and other than that, that's all there is to it. But yeah, that is that. That is my valley. That is the squad right here. Show you these. Boom, and then I think that will basically wrap it up. And yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed the stream. Thank you for everyone that came by it. And your contributions. Thank you, Lynn, for... Yeah, I think there's a light glitch in terms of it sort of goes like shady or whatnot. Like real dim and dark. Like the sun's in the wrong place. Like there's a shadow above it. Anyway. Hopefully I haven't missed one. Paradise. Yeah, it's like real sort of gloomy color. Like it's shaded. Whereas that one has not got that. Oh, maybe I'm just seeing... No, I'm pretty sure I'm not. I'm pretty sure there is a difference. Yeah, so they look such massive villages. Maybe that's because all those trees are on the absolute outskirts. My one feels so small. But I guess if I cut down all those trees, yeah. Yeah, and that's the valley, that's the village. Boom. So I hope you guys have indeed enjoyed this stream. I'm glad I did it. And caught you up on a whole heap of things, and then people that watch this back will be severely informed if they're wanting to learn about valleys and villages, assuming they can figure out the real basics, which I'm sure they can. My eyes hurt, I'm so tired. Bye, I'll take care. See you, Kim. So yeah, thank you to everyone that was part of it, and I will, yeah, do the outro. Oh, that's that one. Boom. Boom. Okay. Thank you to everyone that came by the stream. Does it go back right to the start? Okay, so thank you to Lynn, to Josh Wine earlier, to Peter, to Matthew Moo, to Super K, to Kim. Thank you, Kim, for moderating as well. To I am Sean. What's it mean? I'm Speed. To, I'm just looking at these profile pictures. Bevan Fiddler. To Jessa. To Val KP. Yeah, thank you guys for coming by the stream. Hey, 100 playbacks. There you have it. There you have it. Here's the participants. Oh, and Testificate Warrior Studios. I didn't see you there. Hey, that's because you just messaged right then. Aha! I thought that might be the case. Oh, that's top chat. No, it is live chat. Okay. It defaults to top chat, I think, so it's real annoying. And yeah, thank you, Lynn, for being on Trovo. Thank you to the members of the channel. I will get your names up in a bit. I will screenshot this here. File. Save as. I'm tired, man. It's crazy. My voice mainly, but just feel a bit drained. Boom. There are the stats. Help your mum with the shopping. What didn't I do? I didn't do the Twitch stats and whatnot. I don't know if there's anyone in the stream. So yeah, thank you to Supercell with the headset and the camera, to Ossium Games for the game, thank you to 24timezone.com for the time below, thank you to 360 Million for the reflection of the screen, thank you to OBS for the free streaming software, thank you to OBS Studios for the free streaming software. Thank you to Restream to IFL, which is currently free. I'm on the free plan. For allowing me to stream to all the different platforms. Thank you to Twitch, Nimmer TV, Periscope, YouTube, and Trovo, Free TV, and Mob Crush, and D-Live for allowing me to stream on your platforms. Pardon me. I hope you guys have enjoyed the stream. Thank you all for coming by. Thank you for the 12 likes on YouTube. And to the members on YouTube, which I will get up your names right now. It's been a good stream. I'm glad I did it. Okay, we go into analytics. Yeah, boom, 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 boom. Hey, total members, active members, total. Oh, it's dropped one. That's okay. Boom, boom, boom. The stats. Boom, 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 boom. Still losing subs. Lost 21 on that day. That's just like a heap. That's massive. I didn't stream on that day. That's like the most I've lost. This huge amount. It says on my creator report that I'm receiving each month. It's like, hey, you have. Oh no, we lost. Man, how many was that? 46 on one day. That was like one of the first streams I did back. Man, yeah. That's so sad. So sad. Like, if you look at the lifetime. Yeah, it's just like, see, look, it was taking off. It was taking off, and then just, it literally doesn't even, you can't even, say even distinguishable. I don't think that's even distinguishable. It's just so nothing now. Ah, it was so sad. I was taking off. It was, subs, yeah, we're doing well. Revenue. Oh, this the tiny like a bloop 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 bloop. But not yeah. We're doing so well. We're taking off. It was like 20,000 a day, and then oh well, it is what it is. It's so sad though. It really, really is. Okay, we are clicking on monetization. Supers, no supers. I didn't actually end up re-enabling them yet. Maybe next year. On a certain date, I don't know. So yeah, thank you to Peter, to Lynn, to ValKP, to Facecast, to Josh Winder, to Calvinitz, to Lynn Stillwell, and to Lynn Stillwell too. So thank you, Lynn, 3 times for being members. 3 months all ago, because that's when I got my channel back. Thank you for 12 months worth, Lynn, twice, and to Josh Winder, and to Facecast now. When he next stops by, that will have been a year. Good lad. Good lad. Boom. Boom. Well, there you have it, folks. There you have it. I hope you've enjoyed the stream. It's been good to do it. I am, yeah, gonna go have some water or something. Maybe popcorn as well. Maybe one of the botters got banned. Love the stats. Eat dinner and rejuvenate. One of the botters. Almost 11 million views. Boom, yes. I was powering it. It's so hard. It's just like, all that growth. I was going so well, and now it's just gone. It's so sad. And the thousands of people that would have found my channel, but never will now, because it was A, banned during that time, and B, now it's just so severely impeded that, what the heck? What? I've never seen that before. That's weird. Oh, what? You can... Whoa, that's weird. What? It doesn't show up on the live chat. That's weird. Maybe do collabs. No, I think it's just, yeah. Oh, there it goes, like that. Yeah. Then it go up. No, I think my channel's really gone. But who knows? If this game took off, then maybe I might just like, everyone's like, whoa, this guy knows what he's talking about. We'll see. Anyway, thank you guys for being part of the stream. I hope you have enjoyed it. Thank you, Lynn and Kim, for moderating, and everyone that came by and was part of it. It's not my spam, it's my name. What the heck? It actually is. Oh, I never... That's creative idea, thinking of that as a name. Was timed out. That's crazy. That's such, like... That's crazy. That's insane. That's weird. It's strange. It is strange. Boom. Interesting. I like creativity. So thank you all. Have a wonderful, beautiful rest of your day. I'll see you all next time for another stream sometime. Yeah. Thanks for being part of it. And that is Valleys and Villages.